Base 1, this is Gold Leader. We're coming in hot. I promised the crew that we would not be late for Echo Base Network Live. Rear thrusters are engaged.
And welcome back to Echo Base Network. We are so glad to have you guys here. Yes, indeed, we are. What is going on, everybody? You have me and you have our brother, Risman, in the house. Nick cannot be here tonight. So you got us two, and sit back, relax, buckle up. We got a ton of topics to go through. We got a ton of things to talk about. You know, Matt, I've been asked recently, you know, since we started doing these Thursday night streams where we kind of review The Mandalorian, do you do it again on Saturday? And I'm like, well, not really. I might give a couple thoughts here and there, maybe something different, but it's not really a night set aside for me to go through and give a review, which I've already done twice at this point. It's more about hearing from you guys. I want to hear, tonight's about you and you letting us know what you think, you know, and we're going to have member pop-ins as the night progresses. So by all means, welcome to our weekly Saturday night Star Wars show that we call EBN Live, where we have authentic conversations. You may disagree, you may agree, and it's all done respectfully and with love. Tonight's agenda, we discuss the Star Wars news of the week, including The Mandalorian, including everything going on with news. As I mentioned, we are going to have pop-ins tonight. There will be no watch party tonight. We're gonna cut it off after member pop-ins. As always, there are 4 ways that you could support us here at the channel. You can join our EBN member family, where we have over 250 members in our member family. We love you and appreciate you more than we could ever explain. You could also join us on Patreon, arguably better than even a membership. You still get access to Discord if you're a Patreon, and you get access to so much more in terms of media, audiobooks, reviews, exclusives, things that we cannot do here on YouTube. We have over 100 Star Wars shirts in our merch store, and any and all super chats we greatly appreciate. Speaking of super chats, Matt, we have a super chat here from our friend Rogue Sarge, who sends in a $20 super chat, starting the show off. Hello, everyone at EBN. Go and subscribe to our friend Rogue Sarge. Had fun in the chat last night, Bobby, with you over at John's channel. So thank you guys for being here, and thank you very much, Bobby, for sending that $20 super chat in. We greatly appreciate it.
I think he's our reigning super chat champion, coach.
And he always starts the show off with an incredible I love EBN, and we so appreciate that, man. Jedi Master Lawrence has gifted 10 Echo Base Network memberships. So thank you, Erica, Jedi Master Lawrence, for doing that. We got all kinds of new members now jumping in. Enable memberships so you could join us. Daimyo of the Hangar Bay just joined. He is a Padawan member. So thank you for joining us. Very, very awesome there. Love having new members on the channel. So, as we always say here, you are Echo Base Network. May the force be with you. And this is for you. Echo Base Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get into the show and what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. As we always start out the show on Saturday night, we hit the minor topics early on, and that is exactly what we're going to do tonight. But instead of me presenting those, Moff Rissman, Darth Simpus himself, is going to present the minor topics, and I will sit in the commentary chair for that. And then once we get to the major topics of the night, we'll switch it back, and I will be doing that. So I am ready, my brother.
All right. Mandomania. So these are the sort of, I think they did something similar during the Book of Boba Fett, where they're doing these periodic drops now of the different merchandise. And so this is just a collection of what's coming for this past week. And so, by the way, these mini busts are really nice. I have this comes from Gentle Giant, I think. I have them all, and also the Thrawn. So it's a nice way to get some of these more detailed. You know, they're much more economically priced than your Hot Toys and some of the rest of them. Mm-hmm. So you've got your Paz Vizsla here.
Yeah, I think that's a 1/6 size.
I think they are 1/6.
Bust.
That's correct.
Yeah, which is a pretty good size bust. You know.
Yeah, no, looking good there, and it's it's got good detail all around.
It is 1/6. Yep, there it is.
1/6. Here's Cad Bane. Is he dead? Is he alive? Will we ever know? Who knows, right? But we got from the Book of Boba Fett, we've got a Cad Bane for you if anyone's into it.
It's a cool looking figure.
Yeah, I like him. I like him there. Some cufflinks. Got to have your Grogu cufflinks, right? Who still wears French cuff shirts? I don't know. Somebody must. So they're still making cufflinks, I guess. So there you go. And so these microfighters on the Lego side, they're somewhat popular, although they've gone up a little bit in price, which has been controversial. But this is a good way to get that Mando figure is slightly updated from a helmet perspective. What is this stuff? I honestly don't know what this is.
This is the way studs set by Girls Crew.
Okay. I guess they're earrings. Maybe.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
So you can find that. That one comes to us from StarWars.com. So if any of that stuff floats your boat, head on over there and pre-order.
Pretty neat there. All right, let's see that. What else we got up?
Oh, yeah. I put this one here just because, I don't know. You too can make Dr. Pershing's favorite yellow travel biscuit. So here you go. You can find the recipe on StarWars.com, and then subsequent to this, you can now also make your Bad Batch cookies. They also have a recipe for Bad Batch cookies. You can find those on the shape. They have the cookie cutters and the shape of all the Bad Batch members. So you can find that silliness on StarWars.
Those aren't biscuits down here in the South. I'll tell you that.
No, they're not our kind of biscuits. So they're not putting any gravy on. You're not putting any gravy on these cookies, right? So anyway, find that silliness also on StarWars.com. So I think this one's talking about a potential game that's coming, and
Yes.
I think it came to us by way of a job posting. I think
It
someone
did.
spotted a job posting out there for a game in the style of. It has been a minute.
Dark Forces.
Yeah, it has been a minute since we've had any more game announcements. A little later, we have the trailer for, of course, Survivor, which is coming out now, end of next month.
So the same company that did Survivor, Respawn Entertainment, they are producing a first-person shooter, and the job listing specifically says that they are targeting the Dark Forces and Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight as an influence for this game. Now, that's led some people to speculate that we're about to get a new Dark Forces game. It's too early to say that, but I definitely can consider having a little bit of hope for that. That would be really cool to them to revive that game, give us another adventure of Kyle Katarn, with a modern gaming engine. I would be very excited for that. But neither here nor there, giving us a brand new first-person shooter that's action-oriented, let's go. I'm down.
Yeah, listen, they give us good story. Well, we hope. Mostly they've been giving us good stories, right? In in these games. I know the Squadrons was a little bit of a letdown for some folks. Didn't really, kind of fizzled a little bit, I think. So let this materialize. Look forward to an announcement.
Yep, absolutely. All right, next up.
So this is a little bit of an interesting take here. Bespin Bulletin talking about and making Star Wars article. They're talking about. I'm getting a little feedback. Talking about how it is that Ahsoka will be using the lightsaber that Ezra left with her. If you recall, before he left her with the green lightsaber. So allegedly, she's going to be fighting alongside Ezra. She'll have a lightsaber, and he'll be using some sort of a Wookiee, some sort of a take on. That's what it said in the article, right? Some sort of I think I'm echoing, so I may drop and come back. He'll be doing his Force powers, and she'll be with him in the lightsaber. So interesting. Okay. Let me drop myself and come back, Coach, because I'm getting a little bit of an echo.
No worries. All right. I am not down with this whole Ezra lightsaber, Sabine using it. I'm count me out on that, but they're going to sell that to me for me to buy it. I'm not buying that right out of the gate. So next up, Star Wars removed Ahsoka's boyfriend from the Clone Wars final season. I mean, just a nice little interesting tidbit here is all this is. And then they put in the Martez sisters, which is fine. I wasn't really necessarily a fan of that story arc. Not that there's anything wrong with the Martez sisters, but I didn't think that the story was all that interesting. Personally, that's just me. But originally, Filoni had written in a love interest to be Ahsoka's sidekick during that particular story arc, and they scrapped it. And Ashley Eckstein even talked about how she was glad that they scrapped that for whatever reason, and she likes what they ended up doing here. You got anything else you wanted to say about this?
Martez sisters, not a lot of folks' favorites, right?
Yeah.
So, but for me personally, I would prefer something other than a love interest. So it just so happens the Martez sisters is what we got.
Yeah. Yep. Well said, my man. All right. A couple more little things here. Actually, this is the last one. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. So this is who was this? Was the voice actor of this was the voice, was it Kenobi, and it was Kenobi and Skywalker voice actors in a panel, right? Or somebody recently was talking
Matt Lanter and I can't remember.
I always confuse the names.
Somebody will tell us in chat.
It may even be a little bit further down in the article, but they've just said, hey, we were going to continue on. There was an opportunity, and then I think they decided, obviously they decided to go the Bad Batch route, and not tell any more of the, as we know, not tell any more of those Clone Wars stories. And they wrapped it with 7. I really enjoyed the way they wrapped it in the 7th season. That's not to say that the 8th if there was an 8th season, then it couldn't have been great. But for me, I was quite satisfied with the way they left this.
Yep, I'm with you. So, and it's not to say that the 8th season won't ever happen. It certainly could.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what happens after Bad Batch season 2. You know, is it going to continue? Well, I guess we'll see next week, right, where they leave that. But will they continue to tell Bad Batch stories or something else? I can't imagine we'll have no animation at all. I mean, I know Visions is coming, and I know we have the Young Jedi Adventures, so it's not like there isn't more animated stuff coming very soon. But I just mean from a continuing longer series. Let's see what they do.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that is all of our minor topics of the night. We're going to go ahead and get into the major topics of the night. But before we do that, we want to go ahead and catch up on super chats and member chats and memberships and all of that, because it's very, very important to us. Daryl, the derelict, sends in $2. Coach, you were on fire last night. Love EBN.
I had to drop because I can't highlight it because I had to drop and come back.
No worries. I can go back and get it. I'm going back. We're gonna highlight your super chat, Daryl, because we love you. You the man, Daryl. Thank you so much. And I was just having fun in John Graber's live stream, and I was chatting and giving some very interesting jokes. I'll just say that.
Yes, there was a lot of interesting jokes in that live stream.
Yes.
We should just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it. Yep. So let's see. X-Wing has gifted 5 Echo Base Network memberships. Thank you very much, my brother X-Wing. Appreciate that very much. And then Ranger Crosshair, I'll have to highlight that one. No big deal. Ranger Crosshair with €5. Hi, guys. Have you seen the latest trailer for Kenobi, Trials of the Master? Looks absolutely amazing. I have not. I don't even know what that is.
Same here. I've not seen it, and I don't know
is that a fan-made flick? I am interested. So let us know more in the chat, Ranger Crosshair. And I would love to see what that's about. Definitely. And thank you very much for sending that in, and we will check it out for sure. Let's see here. The next one is from, I don't know how to say it, Gilo Saggers.
Sure.
I don't, Saggers? I hope I got it right.
I don't know either.
Hey, Coach, love the channel. What AT-AT does Moff have?
Oh, so the one, it's over here.
He only buys Imperial stuff. I know that.
So this one is from, I think it's discontinued now, but this must have been from last year or the year before. So it's the most recent AT-AT when they were, it was for the Empire 40th when Lego was doing that stuff. It's actually the only AT-AT I own, but if you don't have an AT-AT, I recommend it. Just the most recent one, not the, of course, they made the UCS Monster, which I don't have that one, but this one is a playset. So highly recommend.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Gilo, for sending that in. We really appreciate it, sir. Keely Chow has been a member for 6 months, and he says, Echo Base Network, hail, Coach, what's up? Roll Tide. Oh, he made me say it. War Eagle, Keely Chow, and congratulations on a great year. Debbie Young with a $4.99 super chat. She says, my computer will not let me buy memberships. Sad. Well, it's okay, Debbie. Thank you for the thought anyways. We love you, girl. It is all good. We greatly appreciate that. Jedi Master Lawrence with a $5 super chat. Poop joke coming. What's Yoda's advice for going to the bathroom? Do or do not do? No, that one was great. That one was absolutely fantastic. As a matter of fact, we got to give you this. Yeah. Yoda laughing there. You did hear that, right?
I did,
Okay,
yes.
all right. Just checking. You didn't even break. You were like, this is not funny. So thank you, Jedi Master Lawrence, for sending in that hilarious super chat. We appreciate that. Scott Westbrook with a $11.38. That's a very peculiar number. I see what you did there. Detention block 1138. Just a few coins to help keep the lights on at EBN Towers. Well, thank you very much. Coach and Risman are here keeping the lights on. I know that.
Always. Oh, and we have the
So,
light on for you, right?
yeah, we almost, like, some things happened today. We almost missed out on having a show tonight. I was able to work it out to where I could get here to do it, and that's why we were late. Nick is unavailable. He didn't know he was going to be unavailable. I didn't know I was going to be potentially unavailable. But we have not missed a Saturday night show
Gosh.
ever. Like at one time for a brief moment, we changed our night from Saturday to Thursday. We missed Saturdays then, but that only lasted like a month, maybe.
Yeah.
And then we were right back to Saturday nights. So, anyways, thank you, Scott Westbrook, for sending that in and keeping the lights on here at EBN. We appreciate it, my friend. Venger has been a member for 25 months. He says, Picard, seen the teaser trailer for the next week's episode, and I have a new theory about the rogue changelings. Hope your eyes feeling better, Coach. Yeah, I feel good. That was actually an old picture that I posted tonight.
Yeah.
It was just the first picture I found of myself. I posted it because I like to put a picture with the community post when I can, just because maybe it'll get your attention. Some people are more visual.
Mm-hmm.
They just bypass the text ones. And it was important because it was me letting you know that we're having the show, but it's not going to start at 7. So anyways, thank you, Venger. And I look forward to talking some Picard with you sometime soon. Daimyo of the Hangar Bay. Hail Coach Richmond and I guess X-Wing with $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it very much. And Debbie Young has gifted 10 Echo Base Network memberships, and she said, fixed it. So thank you, Debbie. That is so sweet. We appreciate that very much as well. We love you guys. You are Echo Base Network. We'll go ahead and play this video for all of you guys and your support of our channel and your community here at Echo Base Network. And Matt and I will be back to talk about the first main topic of the night. Buckle up. It's a lot. It's a lot, and it's big things. So here we go. You are Echo Base Network, and this one is for you. Okay, so first up, and we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one, but it is an interesting story because, one, it's canon, and a lot of people are looking forward to this. They're very amped up and excited about it, and it is coming very soon. We find out a lot about Cal Kestis's allies and their support in Star Wars Jedi Survivor Story trailer. We did get the trailer. It is right here for you guys, and it is playing. So you can kind of see it in the background as we go. A lot of people, I'm not going to be playing it, I don't think, but I will watch it. And I will definitely watch the cutscenes and check out the story. The gameplay looks fantastic. Anything you want to say about what we found out about his allies, Matt?
And so a couple of things, right? You saw him going to Coruscant there. We're getting an awful lot of Coruscant here lately. So for anybody who was feeling they were in Coruscant withdrawal, I think they're fixing that very clearly. But Night Sister Marin is back. And then I think, somebody identified in one of these scenes, I think it might have been one of these scenes coming up, one of the Inquisitors is sort of hiding in the background. It's very hard to see. I think it's the Fifth Brother still. in this game, perhaps. But where I'm going is, I think this fellow here who just threw the helmet now has been confirmed by Dress as being a Jedi of the High Republic era, making some comments about the Empire. Right? How did you let this Empire take over? Not holding it in very high regards. So, like you, I won't be playing it. I have neither a PC nor a next generation console, but I will enjoy watching other folks play, and always have such a good time engaging in live stream gaming chats. I know someone wanted to know why you weren't going to play, so I'll let you field that one.
Totally fair question. It's just not my style of game. Now, the second one might be. This one, I feel like, would be more my style with the fast traveling that they've got. So if you get off path, you could fast travel in this one. But no matter how good this game is, I don't know if I don't know how well I can articulate this, but I'll do my best. I tried to play the first game, and I probably got about halfway through it, maybe a little less than halfway through it. And it just wasn't enjoyable for me. And it might not have been enjoyable for me because Nick was over my shoulder saying, turn here, do that. You forgot a crate, do that. And it kind of took away the exploration part for myself.
Yeah.
And Nick was trying to help. Truth be told, I really wasn't wanting to play the game because I don't like linear games like that where you could only go this way kind of deal. Give me more of an open kind of world. So yes, Brandon is right. There are some games that I'm looking forward to. Diablo 4 and the new Breath of the Wild game. Those are the two games that I am going to be all in on. I'm jumping in with both feet on day one, both games. And I will definitely stream Diablo 4. I am all in on Diablo 4, no matter what. That's a game I've been waiting on for a long time, and that's one of my favorite series. And the other thing I guess I was trying to say is this: because I didn't go all the way through Jedi Fallen Order, I don't want to play this one. I don't want to play this one because I didn't play its predecessor.
Interesting.
So for me to play this and enjoy it, I feel like I would want to go back and go through the other one, and I don't want to play that one. So I will enjoy watching the cutscenes. So I'll leave it at that. Anything you want to say about that?
No, I'm with you. Like I say, I know this one got delayed, and folks are looking forward to it. So end of it, April 28th. I don't expect they'll delay it again. So it's certainly right around the corner.
Yep. So great question, Fletcher Williams. I just got here. Is it a yay or a nay on Jedi Survivor? It's definitely a yay. It's definitely a yay. The game is going to be great for people that like those style games. And it's going to be everybody and their mom will be, except for Star Wars mom, but everybody else and their mom will be playing this and streaming it. If you want to watch somebody play the game, go to X-Wing's channel.
Yeah, because I know he can't wait. He can't wait.
He'll be playing it. So if you want to watch it, go to X-Wing's channel and watch it there. And if you're going to be, go to the Legendary Tron's channel. Heck, he's here. Forget X-Wing. Go to the Legendary Tron's channel and check him out as well. He will be playing it. So as for me, it's a no. But I will hang with you guys in somebody's chat and watch. I will definitely do that. Definitely do that. So, all right, Matt, that's going to lead us to the next part. Not a lot here. Ryan
What's a stream without Ryan Johnson, right? Can't have a stream without Ryan Johnson.
So, look, take this with a grain of salt. We did a video on it earlier in the week. We covered this. Got a lot of traction for us, and we were glad for that. Matt sent it to me, and I was able to take care of a video for it. So these people over at Small Screen are claiming to have insider knowledge. They got the inside track that this is not happening, and they're saying it's coming from a very reliable source, one that they trust. So, and that's really all there is to say. I don't think that anybody is expecting this movie or much less trilogy to occur. I don't think it's going to happen at all. And if you go back and think about it, they said that he was going to get his own trilogy, but then they say, well, the movies from now on are going to be more episodic. We're out of the Skywalker saga, so we're not doing trilogies anymore. So they have said that, and when I posted this video, so many people posted and were like, wait, we've known this for years. Why are you telling us this now? And I'm like, well, because no news site has reported that it's actually been canceled.
Well, and also
Kathy Kennedy just 6 months ago was talking about this.
Well, and the reason why I think it still was even swirling out there. Remember, as he was out and about, on his junket for Glass Onion, it come up, right? It came remember we had interview after interview after interview. Every interviewer was asking him about his Star Wars trilogy, and of course he said, what did we expect him to say? He wanted to save face. And so he said, you know what, I'm still very interested in it. We haven't lined up schedules and yada, 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 the rest of it. So left the door open, I think, for that opportunity. But like many of us, when I heard it, I just, he's just saying it. I didn't find it very believable personally.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and look, if the Disney brand wants to hurt Star Wars, give him his movie. Like it's really that simple. I don't think there's any way we have no fear. There's nothing to be afraid of. This isn't gonna happen. So with that down, let's move on to our next bit of news considering the movies. Star Wars Stephen Knight is in as Damon Lindelof, and Justin Britt Gibson are out. So look, the Lindelof thing broke, several days ago, earlier in the week. And then it was 2 days later, where people started to understand, oh, the movie he was attached to, that's still in the works. It's just him as a writer who is out. Yeah. So it's not like they did not
canceled
the movie. They only
canceled
the writer. That's it.
Well, it almost sounds like he canceled himself, right? I almost sounded like he was like, okay, I tried, but nah, it's not for me,
So that's interesting because the way I kind of read that is, look, I turned in a script and Bob Iger said it's got to be great. And Kathy looked at it. She didn't think it was great. And I'm out. My homework wasn't good enough. Yeah. It wasn't an A.
I completed the assignment.
And they said, no, thanks. Yep. So now here comes Stephen Knight. So thoughts or comments there, Matt?
People are saying it in the chat also. I think, Stephen Knight has excellent writing chops, at least as evidenced in Peaky Blinders and some of the other things he's done. The thing that's a little bit timing wise for me on this one with Stephen Knight is he's also apparently in the middle of writing a screenplay for a Hitchcock reboot of, I think, Vertigo or Open Window, or one of the older Hitchcock movies is being rebooted. He's writing it, and I believe Robert Downey Jr. is starring in it. So how is he writing that and writing this at the same time, and how does it all coalesce? Because it seems like that one's further along in its production. I don't know, but this article here makes it seem like they had Knight in reserve this whole time. Again, there's just parts of the story which are, as usual, are confusing to me. That why was he in reserve? Why wasn't he just writing it? I don't. But since they never announced anything, and a lot of this was scooped from Jeff Snyder's podcast, it's like there's been a single source for a lot of this information that's just sort of been updating and correcting themselves as we've gone along. Nothing's ever been announced.
Right. So a little bit more about this. Bespin Bulletin broke this, that there was supposed conflict between the writing team.
Yeah.
And Kathleen Kennedy had to step in, and then that's when she showed Lindelof the door. And beyond that, I don't know very much about this situation. Wouldn't shock me at all. But the thing about Disney Star Wars, George Lucas fired people. Gary Kurtz didn't do Return of the Jedi, and he didn't even know he was out of a job.
Well, and apparently they didn't even know, according to this article, they didn't even know that KK had hired the Miss Marvel director as the director of this particular film. So it seemed like a very chaotic working relationship amongst the people that you want to be very firmly aligned, right? Especially if you need to make a hit, because the rest of the rumor goes, Kathy's finally out. If a movie doesn't happen in 2025 that's successful, there's just a lot of things working against this, it would seem. Mm-hmm. And it just sounded to me very, very confusing.
Well, the fact that we don't even know about the next movie and it's 2023, that lets you know the shape that they're in. Yeah, that's a clear indication that things are definitely not where they need to be for Lucasfilm. And if you are a writer, a producer, a director, if you're any of those things, or if you're a Gina Carano, you got to be very careful when you're walking around Lucasfilm, because
canceled.
It can happen.
And
there's an extensive graveyard for people fired by Kathleen Kennedy. And every time, I don't think it's a bad thing. But obviously, some of these things, it's like, what are we doing? Now, I will say this, Matt, which is going to lead us to our next topic. There is rumors that we're going to get, and some of you might not know this in chat. There's rumor that at Star Wars Celebration, we're going to have 3 upcoming Star Wars movies announced. That's where the official announcement's going to happen. 3 movies coming up. One of them is definitely going to be Taika's movie,
if it's still happening. Because remember, even his interviews lately have been, and I know it's his personality, right? But those interviews have been like, "Oh, am I still writing a movie? Oh, I'm going to star in it too." Well, I mean, that's been 3 years old or 3 months, whatever. He said something ridiculous, right?
So, you're so right, Matt. And like, I personally, and I have no reason to think this. My gut just tells me we might get one announcement for one movie, but I don't think there's any way that they're going to say, "Hey, here's 3 new movies," and then they're going to announce it. If you tell us you're about to give us 3 movies, there's about 0% of the fan base that are going to believe that. And I'm not even going to play the boom canceled thing. Everybody knows there's no way all 3 of those projects are going to happen.
And then and the only thing that may happen is a movie in 2025. So on your point, why announce 3 things where the second thing is going to be 2027 and the third thing might be 2029? You know what I mean? It's so far in the future.
Yep.
Just announce the one that's coming in 2025 and be done with it. So I think this scoop also comes from the Jeff Snyder's podcast. I think he's the one who's been continuously feeding a lot of information about Star Wars cinematic direction, because he probably has one source who's telling him these things. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm with you. So, anyways, that is the rumor. Do you guys believe it? Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you think we're going to get, at Star Wars Celebration, an announcement? Now, I will tell you guys this. We do have plans here at the channel for Star Wars Celebration. Some of our very close friends, I'm not allowed to speak their names out loud. But, I did get a phone call from somebody who is a member here, and they told me that they would be at Star Wars Celebration and that they would let me know all the juicy details, and that they might even stream over there. So, Nick, if you're listening, that appears to be something that we're definitely going to get into and do together. So Nick and I are going to be here, and Matt, you could join us.
Love to.
We're going to be here, and we are going to be streaming all through Star Wars Celebration, and we're going to be surfing YouTube, looking for people's live feeds, looking for breaking news. And when things happen, we're going to be kicked back, relaxed, and enjoying Star Wars Celebration best we can from here. We won't be talking about the drag panel, unfortunately. I don't think you guys want to hear about that with us. But everything else is fair game. We will be talking about it, and just know that during the day, we're going to be bringing you everything we can considering Star Wars Celebration. We got a $2 super chat from Ted's Nerd World.
I saw it. Get back up there.
Oh, he's going to make me do it, isn't he?
No, I got it. Oh, yes.
No, he's going to make me
you
do
got
it.
Wait, you got my avatar.
I know.
Get your friend back. There you go.
Okay, so Ted's Nerd World sends in a $2 super chat. He says, not very soothing. It's not very soothing, son. It's not very soothing. It is refreshing, but it's not soothing. It kind of reminds me of the time I went to an ice cream store. They used to mix an icy with ice cream. The ice cream was always really good, but the icy was not refreshing. No, it was not.
What always gets me when you do that is the sun. When you tack the sun on, because he's like, "This is not the Empire's sun," and when you tack the sun on there, it just gets me every time.
When I first heard that dude talking, I was like,
and I tried to find his name. I went back to the credits to see
Gregory. His name is Gregory.
No, that's somebody else. That's our friend.
Well, hell, I'm calling him Gregory.
But
he's Gregory to me.
They just called him like lab technician, right? They didn't even identify him as Mon Calamari person, right? So I said, I couldn't even find his real name.
Yeah, well, we do what we can. Let's see. Felix Quiros has gifted 5 Echo Base Network memberships. So thank you, Felix, for doing that. And our community continues to grow here. Thank you guys so much. And welcome to our new 31 new members just tonight. Welcome to the family. Go over to the community page and join, consider coming aboard longer than just a month, but we hope that you enjoy your month for sure. All right. So the next thing we're going to kind of leapfrog the next one, but we're going to go, this always is an interesting discussion. I've said this so many times on the channel that, oh gosh, I clicked the wrong one.
I was going to say, wait a minute, that's not the right. Is it? No, it is. It is.
Yeah, it is. I just got to scroll down. Okay.
Yeah.
So we talk about this a lot. Some of you are here. You grew up during the prequel era, and that's your number one Star Wars. And I love that for you, and I respect that, and that's great. For a lot of the older generation that grew up with the original trilogy, nothing can ever be better than the original trilogy. And when the prequels came out, the prequels were very divisive.
Yeah.
It wasn't very divisive when The Force Awakens. I'm sorry, not The Force Awakens. The Phantom Menace first came out, because a lot of us were like, wait a minute. I think I like it, but I need to go see it again. And it took some time. Okay. It took some time. And eventually over time, I'm going to say that I made the sad decision. I didn't like it. There were parts of it that I liked, but overall, from start to finish, I didn't think that the prequels were all that great. I still watched them. They were still Star Wars to me. I didn't hate them. And then this little cartoon came out called The Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I went back and watched the prequels, and I loved the prequels.
Yeah.
And that's how I view the prequels now. And when I watch the prequels now, I love them. I love. Now, it's kind of like, the prequels are my stepchild. They're never going to be on level with original trilogy. Nothing will be. It's not fair. That they're in a whole different galaxy. But I love the prequels, and I love Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor and Padme. I love all that. So, in this article here, I think a lot of us are going to already know the answer to this. As we scroll down and look at this, guys, this article starts with 10 things that could have been better about the prequels. And it's an interesting discussion, and I'm going to throw this link in chat for you if you just want to go check that out yourself, especially if you're a prequel fan. But the reason that I brought this up, Matt and I both wanted to do this, is it's right here. Can The Mandalorian redeem the sequel trilogy?
Yeah.
And I think for the most of us, that's going to be an easy, quick, I don't even have to think about it. No. But I do want to see what they have to say. You know what I mean? It is, to me, worth, maybe. No. Maybe. Heck no. So that's what we're going to kind of do. Let us know. Look, I am Souther. Hell no.
Yeah, there's a lot of no's in the.
Look, everybody. Let's see what they're saying. So the Clone Wars redeemed the prequels for many, like me. But can The Mandalorian do the same for the sequels? Well, I'll just say this, Matt. The Mandalorian's not redeeming anything right now, because it's not even taking care of itself too well, in my opinion. But so the long wait for season 3 of the famous hit Star Wars series, The Mandalorian, is over, where the deadly bounty hunter Din Djarin and Baby Yoda, Grogu, are back together again, traveling across the galaxy, though it seems there may be more to this show than just some cute father-son adventures. The Mandalorian premiered just months before The Rise of Skywalker, the final installment of Disney's sequel trilogy closed the Skywalker saga and 40 years of cinematic storytelling with a disappointing disaster. At least they got that right. But right before we saw Rey gain the power to heal wounds using the Force in The Rise of Skywalker, we saw Grogu do it first in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian has been doing some Star Wars shows have done before, making the movies better. Many will rightly state that the sequel trilogy is unadulterated trash, but many used to say the same thing about the prequel trilogy. And that's fair. I gotta say, that's a fair thing to say. Now, the whole premise of, can Dave and John's one story make the sequels better? I mean, look, I'm going to say something. I definitely don't think, Skits, that they're talking about fixing it.
Yeah.
You can't fix it. But it's so bad, I think they can make it better. That might be relatively easy. It's still not going to be good, and it's not going to be average. It's still going to be crap. But they can make it better. Because it's so bad.
And to me, it's like, from a sequel's perspective, they have major plot problems, right? They have major script problems that I think they can add some context to in The Mandalorian. But when we think about what the Clone Wars did for the prequels, at least for me, it was just enhancing the storytelling. It wasn't fixing plot problems. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't coming back and trying to stitch together, the cohesiveness of the story. It was just giving us additional details about why the Clone Wars were relevant and what all was going on and how did they all function together and how did we end up at Revenge of the Sith. So to me, it's just two totally different situations as far as I'm concerned.
Andrew says here, it's not fair to say the sequel trilogy makes The Phantom Menace look like Casablanca. The prequels were hated upon release over 20 years ago, filled with lousy screenwriting and little sense, with only Revenge of the Sith receiving positive reactions. That's pretty much true. Still, now the prequels are loved for all their flaws and respected by most of the fan base. That's because another Star Wars show, The Clone Wars, changed minds completely, redeeming the prequels in the eyes of many. Many wonder if that can happen again and if it could be the same for the sequels. Now we ask, can The Mandalorian redeem the sequel trilogy? So The Mandalorian is setting up the sequels already, it says. The biggest problem with the sequel trilogy is everything that comes out of nowhere and everything happens without reason or explanation, leaving viewers confused and doubtful that the creators thought through anything they did. So, they're talking about clones and Snoke and all that. And I get that. And that's a fair point. Because that's the sequel trilogy, though, makes me have no interest in it. It's actually, I would argue with the writer, no, the sequel trilogy is actually so bad that it's going to make The Mandalorian worse. That's what I would argue personally. That The Mandalorian's not going to make the sequels better. The sequels are going to make The Mandalorian worse as you continue to lead us to the sequels. But that's neither here nor there. In The Mandalorian, Mando and friends find secret cloning lab filled with bodies that appear eerily similar to Snoke, who we know was a clone. The Mandalorian can provide context to the sequels, like right here, Luke's Jedi Temple. And, okay, all right.
And that was in Book of Boba Fett, wasn't it?
Okay, all right.
It wasn't even in The Mandalorian.
Okay. All right. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh boy. I'm going to have people unsubscribe, throw tomatoes at the screen, make Coach Voodoo dolls, and Indiana Jones me. What they did with Luke was so bad in the sequels. And for a lot of us, there's so many problems, but that one right there killed it for a lot of us. And it's not like I would think that the sequels would be great if they didn't do Luke like that. But I'm going to say, if they give us the entire Luke story, if they give us the entire Luke backstory, if we get to see Luke be more of a hero like we did in Chapter 16, Matt, I have to dare to say that this part could be better. They could make Luke's arc better if they fill in the gaps. It's going to take a brilliant writer. There was that one time I didn't think they could ever bring Data back. There was one time I didn't think that there was any way you could make Picard an android that I wouldn't think was stupid.
Yeah.
Terry Matalas should not be underestimated. If a brilliant writer comes in and salvages the arc of Luke, it can make what happened in the sequels a little better.
But you have to. The reason why I think Terry's been successful is because he's leaned into it very smartly. Right, the writing has supported the story he's trying to tell, and was wove in some of those things that folks found very displeasing, and has added some sense to it. Is the writing staff that's participating on Mando 3 specifically going to be up to the challenge? Because I have to tell you honestly, for me, I was super excited for the cloning story. I thought we're going to get some really cool stuff with cloning and Pershing and how all of that's maturing. Maybe we'll see Tannis and I mean, I was into it, and they wiped the guy's mind. I was into seeing what he was going to do, and they seem to have decided. Maybe I'm misinterpreting what happened to him in that machine, and I'll be pleasantly surprised. But they seem to be like, nah, we're not going there. At least not with him. So I'm like, I don't know.
Well, so I gotta look. If you continue the article, They really get to it here. They were kind of pulling the wool over our eyes, which I agree with, and most of you agree with. But in the end, The Mandalorian will not redeem the sequels. The sequel trilogy was created with a composer with no planned direction, which left directors to develop vastly different interpretations and contradict each other, becoming too disjointed and flawed for one man and his impossibly ugly but adorable son to fix. And they're absolutely correct in that. And I agree 100%. Fooled ya! Fooled ya! All right. Let's we got some super chats that we want to catch up on before we go to our next main topic. The next one actually is from Debbie Young that was above that one, Matt. A $5 super chat. She says that character's name is HCAOC. Read the name backwards and it's yours truly, Coach. So thank you very much, Debbie, for sending that $5 super chat in. We appreciate it. Felix Quiros sends in a member chat. He says, I'm a very proud, grateful for the 23 months as a member of EBN. EBN is the best Star Wars community on YouTube. Coach and Nick are genuine and the most sincere and honest Star Wars fans out there. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Felix. That's so kind, man. I feel the same way about you, my brother. Scott Edwards with a $9.99 super chat. And he says, I think the Mandoverse is doing its own story with no ties to the sequel trilogy, son. I don't think the stolen cloning data has anything to do with Palpatine. I think Thrawn is behind everything. What do you think?
I think they're, again, if you think about what happened, and I've seen this in chat too, and I know I'm there with you all, right? But if you think about what happened in the Pershing episode, they are leaning into the incompetence of the New Republic. They are leaning into Mon Mothma's strategy to demilitarize. They are giving it to us very, very plainly. And I think before it's over, they're going to give it to us some more. And so I'd love to agree with Scott. God bless. But I think that, whiteboards and all, that they are giving us context around somehow Palpatine returned. It wouldn't surprise me on one of those whiteboards. Yeah. At which they've said it goes all the way up to episode 9, right? It wouldn't surprise me on the episode 9 whiteboard. They have in big letters, somehow Palpatine returned, circled arrows, like, fix this.
So
wouldn't surprise me.
They've had all this time. They've had literally years to make a good decision and do something besides take us to the sequels. And they decided not to do that. Favreau and Filoni have confirmed it, guys. Scott, I thank you for your super chat. And I wish I believed what you were saying here. And I used to think that. I used to believe that. But the more I sit here and listen to what they're telling us, Favreau is basically telling us, God, we're telling a story that's leading to that. We know what comes after. He said that last week. We know what happened before The Mandalorian, and we know what happens after. And Disney showed images of Rey and First Order stormtroopers when they were saying that. Like, it's coming. So, I appreciate the thought, but for me, the whole, we got to get the world between worlds, we got to get the retcon. No, that's over. They didn't do that. And if Star Wars continues to do what it's doing, it's going to bomb. It's going to get worse. You're going to turn a lot of people away as more and more sequel stuff comes in. And at that point, if they have a knee-jerk reaction and they say, well, now let's go back, now let's fix it, I feel like it's going to be too late then. I feel like it's going to be too many people are going to lose interest. And I'm saying that here as a guy that runs a Star Wars channel with his best friend. It's a Star Wars channel. You know, but it might not always be. I mean, I'll talk about Picard. Or I'll find something, by God, that I like. You know what I mean?
And I also think the last point I'll make on this super chat
Truck
is
3PO.
I think Thrawn has. I don't think Thrawn wants anything more to do with the Mandalorian than I do at the moment, right? But I don't think he and Gideon are aligned. I don't think he thinks very highly of Gideon. I think Thrawn's got his own stuff going on that we're going to see in Ahsoka. I expect to see no Thrawn at all in Mando 3.
Yeah,
personally.
So look, look, tomatoes are going to be flying at the screen. Like, y'all are going to be like pin the tail on the coach. I swear. Like, look at Junkman doesn't want the sequels to be erased. And everybody knows that. Okay. Junkman, he liked the sequels. He don't have a problem with them. And that's totally fine. I don't give a crap what Star Wars any of you like. Just, you like Star Wars. Whatever. He says if they retcon the sequels, I would just stop watching Star Wars. It's just a cheap and easy way out. It means they could do anything and retcon it. So here's one thing I will say to back up what Junkman is saying. If you retcon the sequels, you're just making it confusing for everybody now. I am not a proponent of multiverses, time travel. I am a proponent of getting rid of the sequels. I'm talking out of both sides here. But if you were to do something like that, it has to be something that's simple. If that has a great degree of complexity, people can't follow it. And they're like, what are we doing? Yeah. We'll be on here trashing that just like we are Mandalorian season 3 or whatever. So it's a mess.
And I don't think they're going to go that deep with the writing. A lot of the things as super fans that we do is we bring a deepness into some of this content, I think, that they're putting out. And when you take a step back, it's like, nah, they're just shooting blasters into the water, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's the only thing that's deep was when he fell down he took the bad step. That's as deep as it gets. So that's why when we go World Between Worlds and some of the things that we see in Ahsoka, I think they're going to keep it very surface level.
I know. Yep, you're exactly right. I agree with that. So let's continue to roll through the super chats here. Our friend U.S. veteran Gregory sends in a super chat. He says, "Refreshing too, son. It's very refreshing." Thank you, Gregory. Hope you got your money's worth there, Gregory. I did my very best. Look, eventually people are going to be like, Coach, quit doing the Moncal voice. That's the only voice you can do.
Nick's already there.
Hey, I've got a very good Alf, okay?
Oh, I believe that.
Okay, all right. So anyways, thank you, Gregory. Next up, we got Toddzilla with a $5 super chat. He says, the prequels, no matter how you felt about them, led to a heroic end for the OG. Mando only leads to the pure failure of the OG characters. You can't argue with that. That's well said, Toddzilla. I agree. You're absolutely right. Can't be fixed. It is what it is. So, Toddzilla, thank you so much, my brother, for sending that in. We have a new Jedi Master, Mac Daddy, has joined our Echo Base Network member family. Thank you, Mac Daddy. Everybody give him a warm welcome here. We appreciate it. Matt G sends in a member chat. He says, the sequels are also redeeming the prequels. Haha. Prequels are moving up all the time. Hell, Picard might be redeeming the prequels somehow.
That's awesome. I love that comment. That's become my all-time favorite.
Picard's making Star Wars better. It really is. Actually, Picard is absolutely... Look, we've got 350 people here. We'll probably have half the amount when I say this. Picard is season 3, as bad as season 1 and 2 was of Picard. Picard season 3 is absolutely murdering Mandalorian season 3. I don't want to say that. Okay, I understand that, but I have to be true to myself. And I like Star Trek. Okay, I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm a Next Generation fan. Terry Matalas is kicking Jon Favreau's butt all over the place.
And one of my favorite tweets, I sent it to you. Terry Matalas and Sam Witwer were having a Twitter conversation, and it started with Terry quote tweeting or forward tweeting, I don't know what you call it, someone else who was remarking on, why don't the Mandos move? And he's like, Terry Matalas is like, yeah, it seems problematic at best for them to stay where everyone's eating them.
Because if you play Knights of the Old Republic, the Mandalorians have to live around some kind of danger. And
I know.
Shut up, nerds. No, I get that. I get that.
Yeah. And they're stubborn, and I understand.
And that's why when a dragon eagle hawk scoops up your child and flies away with it to eat him, you're like, don't fire. You might hurt the kid. And you just sit there and watch your son fly off.
My favorite part of that dialogue was, it happens all the time. Losing kids
just
all
another
over
day here in Australia.
It's just what happens, home on the Mando range, right?
Oh my gosh. Get us to pop-ins and come in and tell us how you feel about this week's episode of Mandalorian. All right. Clifton 3D with $11.99 super chat. Hey, the Dr. Pershing episode was on par with Raiders of the Lost Ark. 10 out of 10. I'm waiting for the punchline. Fixing Star Trek and making it better than the original trilogy or sequel trilogy. Fixing the sequel trilogy and making it better than the original trilogy. We all know it. If you don't agree, Coach is a mean cyber bully.
Oh no, here we
Clifton
go.
3D had my back all day long on Twitter when I was going to war with people. So I typically don't do that. Usually when you see Echo Base Network on Twitter, it's not me, it's Nick.
Was you this time?
It was me all day. And I think you could tell because I come at you with a little bit. It's just different. You could tell the difference in me and Nick.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm the one that you could tell I'm butthurt and I'm coming after you. Anyways, Nick always does the face palming thing and whatever. That's enough of that. So anyways, Clifton 3D, thank you, man, for having our back and all of that. Next up, we got Daimyo of the Hangar Bay with $1.99. It's too bad Mando season 3 is. But I'm sorry,
I think better got auto corrected.
Better, yes.
Better.
I'm like, is that like some French word? I go, what is going on here? It's too bad Mando season 3 is better than Picard season 3.
And he gave the face. Right.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get my dander up. So,
well, I got you. Well, thank you for sending that in, my man. And we're with you. It's not. So I got you. Next up with a $5 super chat, Drunk 3PO.
Oh,
hell, sir. How do you feel about Ahmad Best's Jedi coming from a game show? Okay. So I'm embarrassed to say I knew I had seen Ahmad Best as a Jedi before, but I didn't know where because I had never watched any of that stuff. And I can safely say I never will watch any of that stuff. It's so horrible and cringe. Seeing Ahmad Best was great. Now, I'm not going to lie. I wish it wasn't Ahmad Best. I wish it was like a character that had a little bit more like a Jocasta Nu. It wasn't going to be Mace Windu. I wish it was.
Take the L.
I wish it was Obi-Wan. Yeah, take the L. That's right. But in walks Ahmad Best, and I'm glad for him personally to play a hero. And everybody's like, "Yeah, who saved Grogu? He did." But to tie it into what's that show even called? I don't even
the Jedi Temple Adventures. Temple
so bad.
There, I don't.
I can't. It looks like when me and Nick first started YouTube. Like it's bad.
Well, it was on YouTube Kids, and again, it's great for the kids, right? The premise behind the show and everything they did there is so sweet, right? And I've been ranting about this. I've been getting boom canceled over this take here over the last few days. But I echo and agree with everything you just stated. Has nothing to do with Ahmed Best one way or the other.
No,
it's just for me, Disney Game Show Jedi saving Grogu. As I have been reminded, I shouldn't really be surprised, but I would have preferred that they gave us any of the Jedi that we know were still alive then. This is an Order 66 scene, right? And there is backstory with some of these Jedi already that were there, that continued on for this, that, and the other, that Disney has perpetuated. So it's not even inventing, you know what I mean, a new story of somebody else who survived. It's pick one that you already told us survived.
Right.
And let's go. Nah.
I mean, Star Wars is like, as a fandom, there's a lot of us that can't admit they didn't know something. Because it's like, I'm a Star Wars fan and I know more than anybody. Look, when Ahmad Best walked in and was in that scene, like I said, I knew I had seen an image of him as a Jedi before, but I couldn't remember where, and I never would have remembered, ever. I knew it was...
They telegraphed it, right? Get him to get the child to Kelleran. So I looked up, I said, Kelleran? What's a Kelleran? So I looked up Kelleran Star Wars.
Yeah, Nick was even like, who's that? Is that a place? Is that a person?
So I looked up Kelleran Star Wars, and then it came up, and I'm like, looking at it, and I'm like, surely not. And then I press play on it, and surely so.
So that's what I want to ask. Like, okay, how many of you knew that Ahmad Best's character, like, how many of you knew where he came from? How many of you saw that kids show, Trials of the Jedi or whatever it's called? I had no idea. I had no idea. But again, I'm happy for Ahmad Best. Great for him. So I would think that less than half of us knew as that happened. It's kind of like, I remember when the Book of Boba Fett came out and there was that episode with Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
I had never read the Darth Vader comic at that point, at that time. I've read it now.
Yeah.
But I was like, who's that? There's a Black Wookiee. That's freaking awesome. And people were like, that's Black Chrysanthemum. You're a Star Wars channel? Like. And
I still can't say his name right. I can't. Not only did I not know who he was, I still don't know how to say it, right?
Yeah,
so,
right.
I don't know.
It's just too deep for me. But anyways, Drunk 3PO, thank you for sending that super chat in, my friend. We appreciate it very much, man. Channel Starface with a $5 super chat. Will the massive firings going on at Disney have an overall positive effect? That remains to be seen. I hope so. But that, to be fair, Kathleen Kennedy's fired people from the beginning. I mean, she fired people for The Force Awakens. She's fired people all the way through her regime. It's kind of her job to do that as well. I mean, that's what she does. That's why she gets paid. I'm the head basketball coach. I gotta make cuts every spring. I get paid to do that.
I think why this is a bit interesting to me, and it's sad interesting, but what you're speaking of, right, Coach, is whether we agree or not, is firing due to performance or perceived lack of performance or something. You know what I mean? Was not working well, and so they did that, right? What's happening now at Disney is just a plain old good old fashioned corporate reduction in force. We have too many. We believe we have too many people, and we need to reduce our workforce to trim the fat, to restore, shareholder confidence, and yada yada yada. And we want to get started on that before Iger does his dog and pony, which I think is this week coming up, maybe on the next shareholder meeting.
Yep.
So how does that filter down to Lucasfilm? I mean, I don't think we know how many employees Lucasfilm has. We certainly don't know how many are in the story group.
Right.
Although I did have to chuckle because I saw Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter reached out to Inverse or somebody who had written an article and said, would you please correct, I am not the head of the story group. Would you please correct the article. It's like, I'm not going to tell you who is the head. You're a journalist. You can try and figure it out. I'm just telling you it's not me. And I'm like, is he trying to, sometimes the boss is the one who gets fired, right? So is this coincidental right now?
That's funny.
Or does he know he's getting let go and he doesn't want people to think that they let the head of the story group go? You can read into that in all sorts of different ways. But then the whoever wrote the article responded back to him and said, "Our bad, we corrected it." It's a very strange exchange.
That is weird.
On Twitter for everyone to read it.
Well, Channel Starface, the second part of your question, and do you think these big moves increase the odds of a retcon? I think the odds of a retcon are 0. Yeah. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to rip your hope out of your body and stomp on it. But it ain't happening. Not yet. They have to fail bigger than they have for a retcon to even. It's not happening. Yeah. We're talking about way down the road. The best thing they could do is get us out of this era and keep us away from it. Anyways, but thank you for sending that in, Channel Starface. Scott Edwards with
It's Channel Star Fox, Coach. Get it right, Channel Star Fox.
No, it is not. Well, shut up. Scott Edwards with $4.99. Thank you, Scott. What do you think has happened to Ahsoka by the time of the sequel trilogy? Is Thrawn the big threat to the galaxy before the First Order? I mean, I think Thrawn is going to be the threat. He could show up at any time. We know he's coming. Does he show up in Mando? I don't think so, but he could. Does he show up in Ahsoka? Absolutely. Does he show up in Skeleton Crew? He could. I don't know who the bad guys are in the New Republic era yet. They've not established it. We're still waiting. We've had 4.5 seasons. Wait, is that right? No, we've had 3.5 seasons of New Republic era.
That's right.
Well, if you include the Book of Boba Fett.
That's right.
3.5 seasons. Yep. We don't know who the bad people are yet. They haven't revealed it.
Well, we're led to. I'm with you. We're led to believe that there is more than one Imperial remnant, of which we've primarily focused on Moff Gideon, right, as the predominant remnant that has been relevant to the story being told. I think there's an opportunity to see other, which to me is just going to make it even more confusing. But okay, I think there may be an opportunity to see other remnants, in Mando 3. But I don't think any of those are Thrawn. And I will be very curious to see how they position Thrawn's antagonism when we do see him. Is he going to be villainous? Because the rebels Thrawn was very Empire loyal, appeared to be the way the story was being told in Rebels, right? I'm here to help the Empire. I'm here to kick ass, right? I am Imperial Thrawn, which we know is not traditionally the backstory a lot of us have been used to from Thrawn's perspective. And I see it again in the chat. There's a deepness to Thrawn's character that, now that the Empire has crumbled, what are we going to see, and how is he going to act? And so I think the Ahsoka story, if some of the rumors are true, is going to be a very peculiar story. And I'm just going to see we'll have to see how it lands. I think it's probably going to be a none of the above, if you know what I mean. I think they're going to tell us something there that we're kind of like, huh? Where is this coming from?
So. And Scott, the first part of your question there, that good response, Matt. The first part of your question there, what do you think has happened to Ahsoka by the time of the sequel trilogy? I know that Ahsoka is exactly 17 years older than Luke. 17. She was 17 when Luke was born. So Ahsoka's so old by the time the sequel trilogy comes around. She ain't doing nothing there. So what did she do after this New Republic era? I don't know. I would think that she's kind of at the end of her being able to do anything meaningful in her show.
So interesting on this one. There is a new rumor afoot. It's 8 episodes in Ahsoka. There is a rumor afoot that the series is split into 2 4-episode periods of different times in Ahsoka's life. So with the post-credits scene that we saw in Rebels, with her and the staff and Ahsoka the White appearing at the midway mark, sort of demarking the 2 4-episode stories.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's even more confusing then, right? And what are they doing? On your point, in those first 4 episodes, they're probably going to tell us something about what was she doing in the New Republic era. And then the last 4, perhaps, is going to be the continuation of the Rebel story. And so I'm now thinking that our opportunity potentially for Ezra and Thrawn, probably, if it's true, is I'm probably going to be that last 4-episode portion, right? When she's really focused on, and they're going to be telling us the rest of that Rebel story. That's why I say I think what they're doing in Ahsoka is going to be a little different than what we were originally expecting.
So like, Scott, I love the question. I think what might actually even be a better question for me is, what was Ahsoka doing during the original trilogy? Well, to be fair, she didn't exist, but now she does. So what was she doing? I have no idea. The Empire, Darth Vader, all that. She, and I read E.K. Johnston's novel, Ahsoka. We don't go there. Like we don't go there. So I don't know. Great question. I have a feeling we'll be finding out a little bit about that in her show. I did read something today or yesterday, Matt, that the first 4 episodes of Ahsoka is really going to focus on her and her backstory and things that happened. And then the last 4 episodes is going to be story, New Republic era moving forward. It's 2 story arcs that they're doing.
And I don't think Rosario Dawson is the actress, at least in a portion of the first 4 episodes.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay.
So that's why I say there's something going on here in the way they're weaving that together that I just hope they're going to have to nail it. Right? I hope they do.
I do. Yeah. And I hope that they do as well. And, surely to goodness they can make an Ahsoka show good. I mean, I like Ahsoka a lot. So she is one of my more liked characters.
I'm with you.
Next up, Ted's Nerd World. They gave us Pee Wee Herman bikes. You know what, Ted?
Please play it. You have to play it.
This is for you, Ted.
Yes.
And everybody else.
And they give us Pee Wee Herman bikes.
All right. Up next, U.S. veteran Gregory sends in a $1.99 super chat, son, and he says, have you watched Strange New Worlds? And I got to tell you, Gregory, the answer is no. I will not watch it. I have no interest. Not refreshing, not soothing. Thank you.
I watched Strange New Worlds. It's the Pike show. It's better than Discovery for me.
Okay.
I like Anson Mount as an actor, but it's different. All these Kurtzman shows are just a little different. I would say if you're not into it, you're not missing anything, Coach. But yeah, I watched the first season.
Yeah. Gregory, thank you for sending that in, my brother. 300 Mirrors. What is up, girl? I made it tonight. I'm hurting with this new season. I'm a huge fan, but I can't defend this. I feel the same way. I mean, I am. I had so much hope and faith in the Mandalorian because it was the golden goose. And the people who are saying it seems to me like the show has lost its magic, I understand because that's how I feel. The show has really dropped down a notch or two for me. It was outstanding. It was great. And now it's an average show. And you can't, to me, you can't justify being halfway through a season and we don't know who the main bad person is. We don't really know where we're going or what we're doing besides the arc of Bo-Katan.
Oh, and we know we're getting the pirates again because they still haven't gotten to the trailer footage of them attacking Navarro.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and what will that be about? I mean, got to go save the kids at school?
yeah.
Who knows? So we're with you. Totally understand. Hang in there. I hope this next episode brings us all back. I really do. But it has not been a good season. I'm with you completely. Very mid for me. Donna Hergenrither. And before I read Donna's, Roland News sends in a member chat. He says, could it be possible that Kelleran was friends with Jar Jar? Naboo security met him on the platform with Padme's old Nubian. Maybe she gave it to Jar Jar. You know what? I would be totally fine with that. I think it's cool. Me and Nick talked about that the other day on the phone. What if Jar Jar Binks sent that ship? That would be cool to me. I gotta say. Do it.
This is Donna's super chat. So Donna's super chat is this very coincidentally is this very same topic. Do you believe that it may have been Padme? And so I think one of the things that really impressed me on when I think back to Padme and Revenge of the Sith, she appeared to be pretty clueless, right, about the whole thing. It wasn't until the very end, obviously, that she realized something was going on with Anakin. But I don't think she would have had the wherewithal or the ability to do anything here. Because remember, she was occupied right before, as Order 66 was going on. She was occupied on Mustafar. But on your point, Coach, reference the fact that it was Naboo guards and it was a Naboo, a yacht, the ship. Apparently, during this time period, right post Order 66, the Queen of Naboo was harboring Force-sensitive children. She had Naboo as a haven for people who needed refuge, and so it seems there is a reasonableness to the fact that it would have been Naboo helping here, and I think, Jar Jar is the senator at this point. So some combination of him and the Queen and, all of these things going on together. It seems like at some point they're going to have to tell us more. It didn't. I kind of expected, and I guess in retrospect I shouldn't have, but I kind of expected they might introduce Kelleran only to kill him, and then so that we could see how Grogu got captured and the mind went dark and all these things, right? But it cut off as they went into hyperspace, which makes me think we're going to at least get one more scene or something else that features the Kelleran and Grogu, and whether it's in Mando 3 or they're just going to tease us now and it's going to be in something else.
So that's an interesting point, because we know who saved Grogu. But where did he go? I mean,
hyperspace.
Where was he for where was he for 40 years? You know what I mean? Yes. Where was Grogu during the original trilogy? Where?
Well, why? and the other thing about it is, remember, Palpatine was also from Naboo. So I mean, there's some things they could do here that they could probably tie that up, but it now seems especially unlikely to me, given some of the interviewing and the post discussion that I've seen with Ahmed and some of on the Star Wars site, etc. It seems unlikely that they just brought him in to quickly kill him off. I think there's going to be more story to tell there. I just don't know when we're going to get it.
Yeah. And Rembrandt, good point here. Isn't Filoni now Favreau's boss? Absolutely. And that's a point that I made Thursday during our chill stream. This is people need to realize that this is the first full season of Mandalorian that we've gotten with Dave Filoni as Jon Favreau's boss. He is the creative creative executive director at Lucasfilm. He is like, I don't know where he would be on the totem pole. Like number 3. Like
he's on the Lucasfilm headshot with all the VPs. You know,
exactly.
Some
there.
companies call it executive director, VP. It's, you know what I mean. He's up. His picture's there.
Yep. And so when they're whiteboarding now, it's not like it was with season 1. You know, and Lucasfilm slid him into that position right before season 2 came out. So that story was already done. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense to me because it feels like we're getting a lot of Dave Filoni stuff with the whole emphasis on Mandalore, the whole emphasis on Bo-Katan. Again, I love Bo-Katan. Go give it to us. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But all the Mandalore stuff, they haven't explained to me why I should care.
I mean,
there better be a payoff for everything that we're getting about Mandalore later. And here's the thing. We don't know if that's going to happen or not. You could assume that there's going to be a payoff, but you don't know that. You know, there's a whole lot that happened in the Book of Boba Fett that wasn't a payoff. You know, so we'll see. I don't know. That's a great point, Rembrandt. Let's see. Scott Edwards with $4.99. He says, not Star Wars related, but are you excited for the DC film Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom? I'm not. There's not very much about DC that gets me excited other than going to see the new Flash movie. Michael Keaton, Batman. I want to see that. That's going to be fun. But other than that, they got to get that thing fixed.
Well, and I'm with you, Coach. And you know, James Gunn has done, or he's done some damage to these movies that have been produced and yet to be released, in spending so much time talking about what he's doing differently and what's coming, and ostensibly none of that fits in with any of these movies that are now releasing, whether it's Aquaman, whether it's The Flash, whether it's Blue Beetle, whether it's Shazam that just came out. And so it's kind of like, you know, part of me, I mean, they want their money, they want that theater money, but part of me is like, just release it to HBO Max. I mean, if either you care or you don't, right? And I like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I thought, you know, his Aquaman movies for me have been fun watches. So of course I will see this. But do I have any hype for it? I mean, I had fun watching Shazam, right? But I was there on a Friday night and my whole row I was the only one in my row, right? There's nobody watching the movie in my theater. Because again, the hype has been tempered quite a bit to me for what's going on at DC. And it's a shame because so many people have put so much time into these movies. Could you imagine how you would feel if you were one of the people behind the scenes on the Aquaman or Shazam or any of the rest? You know what I mean? You killed yourself for these movies, and basically the big boss is like, nah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Our next super chat is Sonorum 11 ARU. Man, I know I messed that up.
Sonorum 11 ARU.
Let us know. Give us the phonetics so we can say it right. But $10 super chat. Thank you. Reset. Ray wakes up in a bacta tank after a month in a coma. Turns out she was attacked by a space dog and dreamed the whole thing while she was in a coma. I mean, that would definitely be a reset. I think there would not be a lot of interest in going back to see those characters, though. That even with a reset like that, I think people would be like, nope, I ain't doing it. Fooled me once. So, but thank you for sending that in.
I personally wouldn't mind them. If I had to pick something that I wouldn't mind seeing in the sequel era timeframe, wouldn't mind seeing Ben Solo becoming Kylo Ren type of a story. I'm reaching for something to love, right?
Yeah.
In that time period, that story sounds interesting to me. Again, you have to bring Luke back into that picture, so it gets gets a little shaky, right? In that part of it, but I'm like, okay, I could get my head around that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, the White Snake with a $10 super chat. Big thanks for Patreon. Our pleasure. This past week we posted The Bad Batch. We posted Light and Magic documentary. We posted more Deep Space Nine. We posted Mando.
Your Picard episode, the last Picard episode. Mm-hmm.
So much going on in our Patreon. So thank you. We appreciate that very much, Becky. And everybody go check out our Patreon and you will not be disappointed.
$5 a month. If you're going to watch this stuff, it's cheaper than the money to Coach and Nick's, cheaper than doing Disney Plus.
Thank you.
Paramount Plus.
Thank you. Keep the lights on here at the network, everybody. Yeah. Appreciate it. Let's see. Next up, Skits 3D with a $2 super chat. Ahsoka was looking for Ezra, I guess. And that's that's the part of Filoni that concerns me. He focuses on his Star Wars stories. I know you, Matt, are a big fan of Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Rebels fine. Okay. I obviously like the Clone Wars more, but I still wouldn't say I love the Clone Wars, because to say I love it means like can I say I love the Clone Wars, but then tell you I have not watched it all the way through twice?
Mm.
Is it fair to say that? I don't think it's fair to say that. If I say I love that, then I should at least have watched it 3 times all the way through.
That's a lot to watch. I mean,
that's a lot of episodes.
I've watched it a couple of times, but only because
but those things. How long has those things been out though? They've been out forever.
Someone was doing a watch party or a watch along or a rewatch. They call it a rewatch, right? So that's the only reason I even watched it again. It's a lot of content.
It is. And like so many other shows, the first season's it's a tough watch. It's tough to get through. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Filoni is it appears that he's given us live action Rebels, and I just don't know. All the story that they've given us since Disney has taken over, it hasn't really tied in all that much with the animated shows.
Yeah.
And now it's appearing that this one's going to be much heavier on Rebels than possibly anything that we've gotten before. And I'm not really a fan of that. I don't think that we should have to do our homework to be able to enjoy live action Star Wars. That's me personally.
I'm with you, and so that's why I think I'm starting to understand more now. I think it's the actress who's playing Sabine said something like, the Ahsoka series is structured in a way that if you haven't watched Rebels, you won't be left behind.
Well, good.
Now I'm starting to think again, if it's lending more credibility to this whole 4 and 4 and the Ahsoka the White in the middle and sort of explaining, okay, we're searching for Ezra and some of the rest of it in the last 4. It's clicking a little bit more with me now. So, but I'm with you. I think as much as he denied it in a recent interview, Filoni, someone asked Filoni, do you spend all day thinking about the next animated character that you're bringing into live action? And his response was something like, no, I don't, however, when it suits the story, we've had some luck with bringing characters in, and he referenced Bo-Katan. And then he said something like, if you're a fan of that kind of thing, meaning bringing animated characters into live action, then he said something like, then you'll be pleased with what you see in a future episode of Mando 3 or something like that, right? Implying that there's more. And again, I think, I know one character very specifically that he was probably referring to. It fits the story.
Yeah.
So he claims it's happening organically. You might argue he's writing the story to make it organic. So I don't know if that's necessarily the true definition of organic, but there you go.
I'm with you. Well, next up, Scott Edwards with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Scott. My goodness, man. Appreciate your support. Do you hope we stay in the New Republic era in the Mandoverse and build up to a climactic story event with the Imperial remnants as the main villain? I want Han, Luke, and Leia to be involved in it. So we know that we're staying in the New Republic era for at least another Mandalorian season, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and if the rumors are true, another Book of Boba Fett. So we're not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. We know that Jon Favreau said that he would like to do 10 seasons of Mandalorian if the fans demand it. So am I okay with staying in the New Republic era? Yes, I am. The catch there is, and we've already talked about it, as you lead us and guide us and tie in sequel trilogy, people are going to be unhappy and losing their minds. I will be one of them. So it's a tricky thing. Now, with that being said, I really like the second half of this. I want Han, Luke, and Leia to be involved with it. See, they have an opportunity here to give the fans some scenes, some moments. Like when Luke came back unexpected in chapter 16, that was magical. If they shock us with a Han, Luke, and Leia scene where they're all together on screen together, even though Carrie Fisher has passed away, if they pull that off, de-age those three and give us a scene with the three of them, that will be magical, and we need that. And that would create some healing. People would go crazy. Because think about it. When's the last time you saw those three together? The end of Return of the Jedi in 1983.
Yeah. Well, if we're going to see the rise of the First Order, isn't it also logical that we would see the rise of the, no pun intended, as a ride, right? But we would see the rise of the Resistance, right? At some point, Leia has a falling out with Mon Mothma, or it would appear. So you see what I mean? So if you're going to give us one part of it, on the point I think that Scott's making here, if you're going to give us one part of it, you should be giving us both parts of it. And then, even before you get there, there is still this whole, what do they do about the remnant? Some might argue that they never defeat the remnant. The remnant becomes the First Order, or a remnant of the remnant becomes the First Order somehow. Yeah. So arguably, do they ever defeat the remnant? It seems like not. Right.
What's interesting too is so the original trilogy has ended, but we're getting Ahsoka. And we have seen prequel trilogy characters more than we've seen original trilogy characters, it seems, in this New Republic era. Yeah, we got Boba Fett, we got Luke, and we got R5-D4, and we got R2. If you want to count R5-D4, but Ahsoka being there, man, it's like, where is Akbar? Where is Mon Mothma? Where is Wedge Antilles? Where is General Madine? This is 5 years later. Look at everything Luke Skywalker fought for, and look what it's turned into 5 years later. Ooh. Not good. Not a good look.
It isn't.
Not a good look, New Republic.
And you know about bad looks, Coach. You are somewhat authoritative on bad looks. So.
Huh? What?
Not a good look. Never mind. I don't mean you look bad.
Oh.
Now you
Coach, the cyberbully. Got it. That woo.
Yeah.
That one went over my head. Thank you, Scott, for sending that in. Hope you got your money's worth on that one, man. That was a good one. That was a good one. Todzilla, $5. Do you think this is Lucasfilm's attempt to get Ahmad Best back to eventually get him to play Jar Jar? It would be cool for Jar Jar to be redeemed. You know, I didn't think about that. Dude might not even want to do that again.
Maybe he's gonna have a Tamora. Maybe he's gonna have a Tamora Morrison.
The thing is
moment.
like, this is what I would hope Ahmad Best understands. The fandom doesn't have hate for the prequels like we do the sequels. If I see Jar Jar Binks in a scene in The Mandalorian, he sent the Naboo ship, I am not going to be on here going, they gave us Jar Jar. What are they doing? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Cool. Do it.
Think of the money they could save, though, Coach. They would have Ahmed Best playing both roles.
Yeah.
It's very, very economical.
Yep, very true. So great thought there. You know, I don't know. It's a great question. Great thought. So could we see, I would hate to see Jar Jar before Han, Luke, and Leia. Like that's what'll make me mad. Like they're gonna bring Jar Jar back, and they can't even give us Princess Leia or Han. Oh, you know, where's General Riken? Where's, you know, it just go on. You know, so many Return of the Jedi characters. So yeah, I'm with you. Interesting. Thank you, Todzilla, for sending that in. Debbie Young with a $4.99 super chat. So does that mean we get a repeat of the Ahsoka Vader fight? Good God. I hope not. Like, so that's one way to make me mad, is to give me Darth Vader in the black suit and he gets his butt kicked, which should never happen, ever. He only lost once to his son, but now he's lost twice to Obi-Wan again. Don't even get me started on that. Yeah, I don't know.
I hear everything that you're saying, Coach. I would offer not to be surprised if we see broken masked Vader again in Ahsoka.
That will when did Darth Vader become the punching bag? That's going to make me angry. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to be pissed when Vader's in there and Ahsoka whacks half his helmet off. There's no reason to do that. You did it in Rebels. Why do we need a live action version of it? Like,
I feel your pain.
If Darth Vader and Ahsoka fight in a flashback, I hope it's the World Between Worlds and Vader kills her. Like, that's what I'd want to see. That'd be a great way for Ahsoka to die. Do you know how good that would have been? Vader killed Ahsoka.
We know they're going to be doing some of that what ifing.
That would have made Vader even, you know, God, he killed his best friend, you know, besides Obi-Wan. But you know what I'm saying?
Anyways. Well, they already had their rematch of the century anyway, so.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't help it.
Okay.
I couldn't help it.
Thank you, Debbie, for sending that in. The Sundowners Club with $5. The new Ghost Track 17 series that was rumored a while back as Katie Sackhoff-led Bo-Katan series. I hope so. I would be okay with that. I think she can carry a show.
Are we sure we're not getting that now?
Yeah, exactly. It feels
sure we're not watching it now?
Feels like the Mandalorians changed main characters a little bit. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's still the Mandalorian, but she's a female.
Well, she is a Mandalorian. That's okay.
She's a Mandalorian. She's gonna be the Mandalorian. very
seems
soon.
that way.
Probably in the next episode.
Shouldn't get eaten by something first, so we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. But yeah, I think she can carry a show that's more New Republic era. Rangers of the New Republic could still happen. Not with Gina, but that could be another show. But it feels like Bo-Katan series, the story that we're getting in Mando season 3 should have happened in her series. My opinion.
Yeah.
So,
well, we have a lot of other people's stories happening in other people's series.
Yes, we do.
So I'm not surprised.
Yes, we do.
At this point,
yes, we do. Which means that's a substitute for bad writing. There's not enough here to make a story, so I got to bring in other characters and do side stories.
Yeah,
that's called filler.
It's
all right,
called something. That's for sure.
It's it's Mandalorian.
Oh no.
Oh, that's hilarious. Mattuine, $2. Thesa the Wesa, son. Thank you, Matt. You crazy, man. Appreciate it. Go Vols. Venger with a $10 super chat. Have you seen Dr. Squatch Soaps Company have released a Mandalorian twin soap pack? One is called Force Fresh, which is Cool Fresh Aloe Bar, and Beskar Tar is a pine tar brick. Their usual soaps are nice. I didn't know any of that. That is all new to me.
Maybe we'll do a video on that. Joke. For a minute there, I thought that Avenger was making a joke, and then
he usually does. He's a really funny guy.
I realized that he was being serious.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. Wow. Okay, Mandalorian soap. Get it at Target, folks. So thank you, Venture, for letting us know that. We appreciate it. Matt, that's got us all caught up on Super Chats. Thank you, guys.
Killing it today.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, y'all. We thank you for your support. We're gonna go ahead and play this video. I'll tell you, because of the time, the rest of our main stories were very Mandalorian season 3 focused anyways. I think it's time for pop-ins. I think we're gonna. Yep. Did you have one more thing you wanted to say?
I do. One more thing on this super chat, and Graph Web figured it out. It says you are all morons, spelled backwards. You are all, those are L's, backwards L's. You are all morons. So props to Graph Web for figuring this out. You are all morons. I just thought it was worth coming back to the super chat for that reason.
You got us.
Boom, canceled.
You got us. Morons. That is awesome. Great job, Graph Web.
Yeah. Nicely done. Okay.
Cancel Disney Plus. All right, guys. Well, look, we're going to play this for you. Thank you so much for all of your support. You are Echo Base Network. May the Force be with you, and enjoy this one. And we'll be right back. I'll post the link for pop-ins. All right. I am posting Jedi Master and Jedi Grandmaster. The link for pop-ins has been posted on the community page. This is one of your perks for that level of membership, where we have pop-ins on the show where you could come in and give your take on anything that we're talking about, or just, whatever you want to tell us. But definitely Mandalorian season 3, this past episode. What do you think? Where do you think it's going? And all of that, as they are coming in, we got to play our pop-ins intro. Let's do it. It's so far no one has joined yet to pop them in, but I know that they're coming.
We knew it.
There we go. Here we go. Look, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go blow my nose and potty real quick. Be right back, son.
Well, John, I'm sorry. Did we wake you up, John?
No,
Looks like
I'm
you
all
made-
comfy in bed. I've
looks
had
like you-
a rough couple nights.
Oh yeah, I'm aware. I'm well aware. Welcome all. Welcome. What's up, Master Paul?
Hi.
Sith Lord Felix.
No,
Welcome.
nice.
Here comes Mama Bear. Welcome.
Mama Bear.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. All right. Good to have you again.
Good to be back.
Yes.
Just watching to see if anyone else comes in. So while coach is doing his thing, John Graber, what's on your mind?
Not that scary.
Oh gosh, I'm about ready to get kicked off of YouTube. I'm thinking probably.
Over what?
Oh my gosh.
His streams are a little wild, Paul. Just over being John Graber and his family, I think.
It's
Yeah.
my daughter's
not
gonna be the
surprised.
death of me. She's the pusher. We went
understand.
freaking bowling last night. It was out of
Language.
control. It was out of control.
All right, John. Something relevant and on point.
So, yeah. You know what? I thought they did good with Ahmed Best. I thought that was a nice thing that they did. I do hope because after hearing all the theories of possibly Jar Jar could have sent the ship.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see him. I love Jar Jar. I'm not a hater. I haven't drank the haterade on Jar Jar, so I do hope we see him. That would be, I think that'd be cool. In a respectful way, not a check Wendig frickin' he's a fool way.
Yeah, normally I would say it's unlikely just because they don't tend to do much prequels stuff. But clearly the actor is involved. So I have to lend a little credibility to the theory, even though when I first heard it, I was like, no way it's going to happen. And I'm kind of like, well, the actor's there.
I mean, he was a major character all through the prequels.
Could certainly happen.
So,
Certainly happen.
Yeah,
So-
I think that would be cool.
Agreed.
Yep.
That was like pretty much my whole point too. I think everyone here wants to talk about how awesome it would be if Jar Jar came. we need him back. and it would be even better if they actually play it straight and really redeem him. But I don't know. I think that even if we do get him back, they're gonna let us down with the writing. It's gonna be stupid. You know, they'll somehow mess that up. But maybe I'm wrong.
And one of the prequels is turning 20 years old this year, right? Is it the Revenge of the Sith? 2003? Which one was released in 2003?
It would be, yeah. It would have to be. It would have to be, right? Because 99 was.
I don't think so.
I think Attack of the Clones.
Is it
Attack
Clones?
of the
Yeah,
Clones?
Revenge of the Sith was 2005.
That's right,
Yeah, it's
2005.
Clones.
So it's Attack of the
Good
Clones.
call.
20 years.
Okay.
Then we have 2 anniversaries because Jedi is 40 years
Yes.
old.
That's right.
Ooh, wow.
But
I
my
like
reason for bringing up the prequel anniversarying is again Jar Jar
Mhm.
anniversary year. I mean, so there is a little bit more, there's a little bit more to it, perhaps.
I mean,
That's actually very true.
I mean, he was a representative. I mean, was he like a foolish kid in the first one? Yeah, but did he not mature? And
He did.
yeah. So write him correctly, not Chuck Wendig him like he's a fool of his life. That drives me nuts. Just insanely drives me nuts.
Yeah, they turned him into a groomer, right? Whenever he's got shopping for orphans on an alien planet, right, or something like that. That was like such a weird scene. But but yeah, if they played straight and he uses his diplomacy skills that he picked up doing it and gets Baby Yoda to safety, that'd be pretty badass. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's very likely that they do something further with Naboo. Like I was saying, just a little while ago. They haven't finished that story yet. Do they finish it? Do they finish it in this season or do they finish it elsewhere? I'm not sure. But they're going to tell more of that story, and I think it's relevant.
Because it's got to be because what we gotten so far is Grogu getting saved from the temple to a Naboo ship, but we still got to get to the pirates that kidnapped him. And were they bad pirates or not? Or if they were
The
pirates.
next episode's 41 minutes. That was one of the topics we didn't get to. So the next episode's 41 minutes of something. So obviously longer than the episode we just got, shorter than everyone's favorite Everyone Loves Pershing episode.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will. What's coming next? I don't, I'm afraid that the pirate sequence is going to be a long sequence.
I'll take it.
Probably
Pirates.
So
with that weird swamp thing, alien from the first time. Oh, that looked really painful. That was bad.
Well, we know again in the trailer we see their ship engaged in more of a battle. We see the pirate, we see the Anzellans and the pirates and the Mandos and everybody, doing it on Navarro. So I would have to believe that's coming. That's coming soon. And again, we haven't seen Gideon yet.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Where's Gideon?
Where's Gideon? Right. I actually, you know what? I thought, and they were saying like no one knew it was Ahmed Best or what was going on. I thought it was a young Moff Gideon when it opened. That was like my first thought.
Yeah.
No way, but
For a split second, I thought it was Mace.
Yeah, I've had some people come up that some normies come up and say, could they not get Samuel L? And I was like, no, it wasn't Mace.
No,
it was somebody else entirely.
Subverted expectations, man. They just rock at that. They do.
Yeah.
So, all right, John. Anything else? What else on your mind?
That's all I got for now.
All right, perfect. Felix, why don't you keep going? I know you've been doing a little talking. Came in about the same time. So what else you got on your mind?
Well, all right. Well, shit. Let me see. He kind of touched on the Jar Jar thing, but there were a couple other little points here. We were talking about Clone Wars earlier, and I don't know if you've talked about that. I'm sure you've talked about this on the show before. I'm late to the party, but I liked the hand-drawn Clone Wars way more than the CG one that ended up being canon. I don't know how you guys feel about that around here. And I like the CG one. I do like the Clone Wars, but I think the hand-drawn one was better. They treated Grievous a lot better than that.
With Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo Jedi.
Scooby-Doo Jedi. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know that I have. I like them both for a little bit of both of them for different reasons.
Sure.
But I have no objection to the hand drawn. I know some people really. I've encountered some folks who just really don't like the hand drawn at all, and I've encountered some folks that aren't into the CG at all. So it does seem to be very one way or the other.
I guess. Yeah. I was reluctant to see it because the art style didn't appeal to me at all, but it really worked. I don't know how people I'm not even looking at the chat, but how people feel about the hand drawn one here over the other one. Let me see. What else did I? Yeah. So I got one on my side.
That's the one from Jindy Tartovsky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
I enjoyed it. I just thought they were super short. I think if they would have lengthened
too short,
I would have liked that a lot better.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I thought X-Wings was going to be on here. He was on earlier. I had to shout out his channel. I just discovered him, and I only discovered him, by the way, because he was on the panel a week or two ago. I don't understand why the YouTube algorithm would not give me, like, I'm obviously into Star Wars stuff, and they would not put this dude's channel on my algorithm. So if anyone else, I'm late to the party with a lot of these channels. I know everyone's just like, duh, we all follow X-Wing, yeah. But if you for some reason you haven't, that dude's channel is really awesome. I just and I saw you on there earlier. I think you were with him last night, right, Moff?
Possible.
Was it last night? I think so. Yeah, right.
Possible.
Yeah, we confirmed with the lawyer. No, yeah.
He's almost at 5,000 subs now. I can't believe it.
Yeah, what a show! Great production, and he's funny. Yeah, I just watched the first time today earlier. I'm gonna try to catch it live next time.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the shout out.
No point.
Person.
Yeah, we're gonna keep on rolling. Keep on. You hang here. We don't have anyone else coming in, so you guys can hang out. So, Master Paul, how are you? What you got on your mind?
I'm doing okay. Well, first off, I gotta get something off my chest that the United States Postal Service sucks because I'm waiting on a lightsaber and I have to wait through the weekend to get it. But as far as Mando, I have to confess I have not seen this newest episode. And I have kind of been intentionally dragging my feet with it because I'm kind of going through this same, I guess for lack of a better term, identity crisis as a Star Wars fan that I went through with Kenobi.
Yeah.
Where I'm not liking Mando Season 3 so far. And I'm getting more and more evidence to what I've been scared of, honestly, since the episode aired. That it's so far looking like the Mandoverse peaked in Chapter 16, and I'm having a much, much harder time, especially now that we have it straight from John and Dave's mouth that it does lead to the sequels. I'm having a hard time seeing how they're going to top themselves with, with what they did in Chapter 16. So all that's done is truthfully just strengthened my decision to go into Legends canon even more, given how little knowledge I have of that, and look into those stories. Like, I've already finished the Thrawn trilogy, and now I'm gonna look into the Dark Empire comics and the Jedi Academy books. But as far as Mando, I was excited for it when it first aired, but now that excitement is pretty much gone.
It's a tough one for me because there has been parts of each of these episodes that I have liked, but I don't. On Paul's point, I'm with you, Paul. I don't have the same level of excitement as I did watching the previous seasons. It's not that I'm not watching. It's not that I still don't make it a point to watch it, as early as I can on Wednesday mornings, but it just hasn't, it hasn't given me that same energy.
Right. And I was never staying up late to watch this stuff anyways. My sleep is too valuable for that.
Well, I get up an hour early, right? So on Wednesday, now I've changed my schedule, but when I go in the office, I get up at 5. So I was getting up at 4 to watch Mando before work. So I guess I might as well go almost at 3 o'clock, right? Because I'm on the East Coast. So again, I prioritize it, but so far it just hasn't done it. Hasn't done it for me.
And another thing I want to hit on too is something you guys actually covered a couple weeks ago. That one interview that they did with John and Dave, where John said that depending on how popular The Mandalorian is, it can go for really as long as the fans want it to. And right now, I could change my mind about this if given reason to, but right now, I honestly don't want them to keep putting off the eventual all roads lead to the sequel trilogy. I just want to get it over with, rip the Band-Aid, and then move on to completely new territory from there.
Fair point.
I hear you.
Yep.
I hear you.
Yeah.
It's a dark day that's coming, son.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes. Come on. Mando season 3 is worth that voice alone. I mean, that right there, it's like, okay.
And the stupid little "it's a trap" meme where he says it and they point directly at the face that you're seeing in the top right, top left, whatever direction.
The captioning is perfect because when it says it was a trap, it does. It's captioned under the Mon Calamari.
I thought it was awesome. I laughed.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Any final thoughts?
Well, low spec Linux laptop. I see the chat. Play the KOTOR games. I absolutely will. But aside from that,
Darth Bane. Darth Bane. If you haven't done Darth Bane,
I will get into the Darth Bane books. My cousin's actually been reading those, and he says they're good. But right now, I'm going to stay within the EU version of the New Republic. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and head out for the night. Again, as always, thank you, Coach, and Matt Rissman. I had another Buster Bar today for you.
I'm glad someone had them. I hope you enjoy.
Oh, and funny story before I go, it was from the same Buster Bar it was from the same DQ that first denied me ice cream all those months ago that Phil went crazy over.
Wonderful, just wonderful,
How's
awesome.
Phil doing? I hadn't seen him.
He's doing good. We're actually working on something together for his channel. We did about a month and a half ago a retrospective on the career of Black Sabbath, and we're working on doing the same thing now for Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, he's not here, but I'm going to promote it. Subscribe to Release McCracken, and I will see you guys later.
Take good care, folks. Great to see you.
All right.
All right, Mama Bear, what's on your mind?
Mama Bear.
Hello. I think, just to pick up on Paul's point, John and Dave, hopefully, are smart enough to pick up on the fact that people right now are losing interest, some. And I think they pay attention to what YouTubers and other people have to say. And I think we know that, being the EBN channel that they watched 2 years, almost 3 years ago, I guess. And hopefully they will pick up on that. And they already have season 4 ready to go. Maybe they can fix season 4 if this season doesn't go the way people want it to go. I think they're smart enough to do it. The question is, will they?
Mm.
So it's not like the current way it had been run. And I mean, from what we can tell right now, they're still the same, some of the same people in charge. But like you said, there's people that apparently are in hiding that we don't see or hear from right now. I think a lot's going to see what happens at the big deal going on over in England in April. So I'm not turning my back on any of the material. I'm watching the Bad Batch, which this coming Tuesday is going to be the culmination, and it's going to be absolutely awesome.
Yep.
So
is that the end or no?
Yes.
That is the end of this season. I don't know if it's the end of the whole thing. I don't know if they're going to go into another season or not, but this is this year's finale.
Is next one okay?
There's 2 together, so it's going to be like almost an hour long. They're putting 2 episodes together, and this is supposed to butt into what happens in the rest of Mandalorian. So, I don't know.
Interesting.
So,
wow,
it's some of what's going on in that will. That is what I've heard anyway. They say it will have meaning by the time the season of this season ends of Mandalorian. So I'm hoping that that's what goes on. I mean, if you're watching it, there's parts of it that seem to me to point to that, but I guess I'll find out. Have I loved all the episodes this season? No. Do I dislike them? No. You can do both. You can have your like I said, cut a few minutes out of that 3rd episode. It would have been okay. I think this episode coming up is just like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. Too hot, too cold, just right. This one may be just right. The long one wasn't too good. The short one wasn't that good. Maybe this middle-sized one will be the one we want. That's how I look at things. I'm looking past this year to see what this next Disney thing is going to bring, because I'm still convinced we're not going to really know much until after this Star Wars show happens in April. I think that's going to tell us a lot, and see what they're going to give us at the convention and what they're going to tell us. I don't have any hope on people leaving quietly or pleasantly, and we'll see.
Who's excited for Celebration? I mean, are you guys like really hyped up? Like, I mean,
I am not.
I always like seeing Doug Chang.
I'm kind of on the fence about it.
I forgot all about it. When is it?
Yeah, I thought it was going on already, but you think it's in April, right?
Mid-April, isn't it?
April 9th?
April the 7th.
It's right after Easter, I think.
April 7th to the 10th, yeah.
Oh, it's right before Easter. It is that Easter weekend then,
because
so,
yeah. But what they announced, do you believe it's even going to happen? If they do announce anything,
KK's resignation. That's
yeah,
I wish.
No, I think the things they're talking about now are to get people interested to hearing, and I don't think anything they're talking about now is going to happen. I think they're going to drop other bombshells, maybe that to get people interested in listening to what they're going to say. I don't believe anything that comes out of their mouths until I actually see it right now. I'm not.
And do you think that affects this season of The Mandalorian?
Yes,
being somewhat disjointed because as a creator, you want to be able to tell certain stories. Well, if you don't know if you can get to that next level, you want to cram certain things in that is important to you to tell.
I believe that 100%, John.
I think once Disney gets some stability, I think things will run a lot smoother. And if you believe all the drama behind it, and I think there's a lot of evidence for it, it's a long ways down the road.
I do believe there's a lot of backstabbing going on there. And front stabbing and all kinds of stuff. I do. I believe there are people who are trying to do things, and evidently Kathleen Kennedy went behind Bob Iger's back and did things she was told not to do, which is now why they have that lawsuit going on, and why she isn't out on her can I don't know, but I know that he
too many pictures of somebody.
He threw it out and said, well, she should have been out on her keister a long time ago, and
boom, canceled.
Yeah, like somebody said, she must have a whole lot of dirt.
Yeah, she's got
that needs to be on a shirt. Boom, canceled.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know what? I think I would rather have a show about the behind the scenes of Star Wars than actual Star Wars at this point.
Yeah, that would actually be a drama.
That'd be a number one hit.
Right? I mean, the script would be quite shocking, right? They wouldn't need a writer.
Truth, damn it!
Yeah, right.
I mean,
all right, Debbie. Final thoughts before we move on to Bobby.
My final thoughts, I think I've just given, but I must say Picard was awesome.
God, I gotta watch that shit. I'm just gonna start with season 3, but damn,
I never watched 1 or 2.
Yeah, $20 for another
Star
streamer.
Trek fan from the beginning. I started when half you people weren't even born.
I'm just saying, we got it all on our Patreon. Just saying,
$5
I was
bucks
just
a month.
a kid when Star Trek came on, so I know none of you were here. So anyway,
I'm up there in years.
I was so late to the Star Trek party, even though I'm old too, man. So, but I didn't get into Star Trek till I was like in my 30s.
So anyway, that brings me joy. But Star Wars still brings me joy. These programs still do bring me happiness. I look forward to the show every week. If I come out happy, fine. If I come out not as happy, I'm okay with it. I learned with going on 70 years old, love what you can, because you don't know when your next thing is to love.
That is true.
We love you, Debbie. Oh, I'm sorry. We love you, Debbie.
All right, thank you, Debbie. All right, Bobby, you're up.
All right, Bobby, do you know the one main advantage to living in Rhode Island?
There are none.
Yes, there are. I'm gonna give you one.
Okay.
Even people John Graber size can't get lost.
That's true. You can get anywhere in the state within an hour.
I would have got lost last night.
Oh, I think we all got lost last night.
Yeah.
Oh God!
All right. This week's episode of Mandalorian. I mean, I liked it. Was it perfect? No, far from it. Wasn't expecting to see Ahmed Best, but as soon as in the flashback when they said we got to get him to Keller, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, he's actually canon now."
Oh, you knew who he was?
I know who he was because I actually when the Jedi Challenge aired, I had COVID. So
well,
may as well watch something. It was either that or Tiger King. So.
Was it good? Was it good show?
Well,
that
it was
show,
a fun show for kids, because it gave them like mental and physical challenges, as like Jedi would encounter, and it was just a fun show to watch.
It would have been a big deal for us if it was like Mark Summers, right? If it was like Jedi Master Mark Summers, Double Dare, forget it.
So
Bobby,
like
here's what we say,
had
Bobby.
a droid sidekick that they had like humorous banter back and forth, and
that sounds cool. Yeah, I don't know. It hurt Moff. Moff was like, "No, I think this is stupid." I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." I guess if you're a kid who likes the show, that's kind of
So
boom, canceled.
Moff's a hater.
It'll be interesting to see if they have another flashback and they actually see what happens with Grogu after he leaves Coruscant. I'm really tired of the creature of the week. Already,
really.
God, how many creatures we had in Mandalorian, the ice creature.
The creature in every Star Wars movie.
More than one. Yes, there are.
Crate dragon,
I love the crate dragon.
I know. I'm
sure.
I'm with Bobby.
Say, hold on to your butts.
It's too much now. Like,
and it's leading to the Mythosaur, so we're already going to get that. So okay, great. It's Godzilla. All right.
This season is what, halfway over now? Because it's episodes.
Nothing's happened.
So nothing on Gideon yet. They just I heard he escaped. Where is he? So
that might be a good episode if we get it.
Yeah,
he's in the belly of the eagle fang dragon.
Eagle fang Dojo.
Mothma.
Bad Batch this season hasn't been too bad. I just caught up on the last week's episode and this week's yesterday. I enjoyed last week's episode when they were on that planet because I could identify with the theme of it. It's like I was a soldier for 20 years, and there is a time when you put down the guns, and there's more to life than fighting, than being a soldier. So I identified with that. This week, very clone centric. So, I mean, I hope the finale just blows us away, and I really hope it does. So, that's about it. But I think that the writing on Mandalorian this season has suffered because look at the 2 years between the seasons. We've had 3 more series: Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and Andor. And I think they're kind of overextending themselves, and it's suffering creatively. It's almost like they're just pulling out. Well, let's throw this in there.
They can see infighting. I really do.
So, I mean, that's my opinion. Let's just hope the last 4 episodes of Mandalorian, wow us. And I got a feeling the season's going to end in a cliffhanger.
Even if they wow us, I mean, even if they wow, people talk about what the Luke episode that had such a build-up. It wasn't like a mediocre crap season.
Yeah,
and then Luke Skywalker, it was like back to back, like solid episodes.
Yeah,
I mean, sure, but
better and better and better.
And it built to that. There's nothing's building.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Well, the member berries actually meant something too.
I think Felix is hitting on a point that I've been struggling with. I don't know why it just clicked with me, right? But there's no sense of urgency in Mando 3. There's nothing. And Coach and Nick even mentioned it, on Thursday and in their review. Even when when you think there should have been urgency, when the child was taken in this last episode, it didn't feel urgent.
No, it's like what's the point of this season?
Felt like a cutscene.
Hey, if I'm on that beach with my children, I mean, a lot of you have children. I have children. If I know there's a possibility that this Dragon Hawk monster is going to come take my kid, then I'm going to have a ship nearby, and I'm going to be ready. I'm going to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
We don't even let kids swim without a lifeguard.
Yeah. Let's just practice by the shoreline. What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. Shooting it in the water.
Now, I will say that I thought Carl Weathers gave us some good moments.
Yep.
I 100% Carl can direct the rest of everything. I thought that was the best directed episode this season.
I don't think the problem has been directing in any of the episodes.
I agree.
Just
writing.
the story.
Writing.
Writing. Yeah.
So that's about all that's on my mind right now. And
great.
Thanks to everybody that's subscribed to my channel. I've got 125 subscribers now.
Awesome.
I just started in November, so
I'm gonna join up.
Again.
I'll find you.
Jump over there to Rogue Sarge and give him a sub if you haven't already done.
Rogue Sarge, everybody
in there.
All right,
he tells dirty jokes.
Never.
Mr. Ted. Mr. What's up, Ted?
Last night I did.
Well, this has been a fairly positive episode, so that's probably making Debbie very happy.
Ted.
Yes.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. You sound fine, but you are not speaking into your mic.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
I hear him.
I hear him.
Oh, I hear him. It's just the wrong mic is what's pulling.
Oh, I see what Coach is saying. Yeah, it's not his.
Nope. Sorry, he's a perfectionist, and I knew I wanted.
How about
to...
that? Is that any better?
Yeah, there he is.
There we go.
Here's
Okay.
the difference, boys. Yeah.
Anyway, I was saying.
Sounded like you were in the toilet a minute ago.
Oh no. That was some of us last night.
Yeah, that was last night.
I need to. What show was that so I can go watch? What show was that? I keep hearing.
Yeah, John Draper's Friday Night Frolics. I swear.
Oh, jeez.
You do not.
Yeah, you got to join us one Friday night, Ted.
His daughter was texting me last night, going, "I need to hear your voice."
Not just voice, sultry Southern voice.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
She thinks it's quite refreshing.
Quite refreshing.
Boom, canceled.
Look what Nick's done.
Yep. But like I was saying,
my God.
it's been a fairly positive episode so far. So Mama Bear is probably very happy about that.
Got that right.
But I'm about to change that, so Debbie, you might want to log out.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm good right now. I'm in a good place.
Let's do it.
That's okay. If I'm just going to start running down the whole last Mando episode, so they start out on this beach where they were been practicing and they got killed the week or so ago. What the hell? Like you were saying, why didn't they have any guards out there? What the hell's going on?
Yeah. Why are they even practicing out there in general? There's like a whole cave in there.
The thing comes down, grabs the kid, and flies off, and everybody's like, don't shoot at him.
Yeah.
Mando then could have got his black dark saber and at least held it down and flew by and chopped the wing off.
Something.
I mean, they took it down with a rope.
Yeah, he doesn't have to control it. He can just hold it down and fly by. And these are
trick, didn't they?
These are Mandalorians. Yeah. They have been flying and fighting dragons for thousands of years.
Yeah.
This one flying dragon shouldn't be a problem for them. Yeah, but still, they should have been ready for that. They should have been waiting. It just
looks like he got away. That's
and
what.
And then after that, I just had my head down the whole rest of the episode and just couldn't believe the stupidity in all the writing, just the whole rest of the thing. I mean, so what they're climbing up the mountain. Let's just jump to where they're climbing up the mountain. Wasn't it just the last episode that armor was so damn heavy? He fell to the bottom of a damn lake in like half a second.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
How are they climbing that?
Nothing.
How'd they get those birds out? How Disney was that, by the way? They saved the little chick.
Oh, my God.
The little
Mando weighs more than Earth.
Yeah.
It's the black sun.
And there's just no way. There's no way those damn gloves and everything are going to find handholds in that rock. That's just stupid. It's just beyond belief.
And there's no way Paz Vizsla's fat ass is going to climb that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
After all those Cuban sandwiches.
That'd be like me climbing that.
And now they got tamed birds that they're probably going to fly around. It's probably going to be Grogu's mount now because it's a baby bird. So the baby
my
Grogu's
God!
gonna
Why'd
be
you
on the
say
baby
that?
bird. He's going to tame it next time.
Stop! You're hurting me.
Ted,
Well,
They're
you're
gonna be
Grogu's
talking
grown
about,
in the next episode.
Grogu's
you're
going to be the
talking
one
about-
that tames Mythosaur.
Ted, you're talking about
Oh,
no sense
God.
of urgency. Like
Yes.
Paz Vizsla had no urgency. No, that's my kid. They're about to go eat him. It's cool.
Looks like he got away.
I'll go get him a day and a half later. Okay, and I have full confidence he's still going to be alive. But the moment I get up to the nest, that's when I freak out. That's when I take off running and abandon all logic. It makes no sense.
It's just beyond me. Just baffling. Just baffling. And then you get back to Grogu and his
You get up
all
here
this
with
time.
me. You get up
He's
here with
watching
me,
the Grogu's been watching, the armor make this medallion he's gonna wear. And there's circuitry. And what the hell does that circuitry do?
Oh, I was curious about that too.
What is it hooked to? What does it do? Where does it go? What is it for?
For later.
Fly?
It's for later.
Yeah, maybe it'll hook into like a bigger suit down the line, I guess. I mean, look, that's a stretch, but I'm sure the circuits are going to be like, especially when you're doing targeting and all that stuff down the line, you're going to have those pathways ready to go. Although, that looked like a rap album cover when he had with the Baby Yoda sitting with that big ass medallion around his neck.
Oh yeah, he was doing his Flavor Flav impression.
It's probably the thing that creates the force field that allows you to survive stomach acid for.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so he can stay alive inside the bird.
Oh,
and then Yoda,
just a helmet on.
The jumping back and forth over that kid. That kid would have taken Baby Yoda out as soon as he moved. Those are Mandalorians.
Kid with the 3 shots. Yeah, right. Like, why couldn't he just? Yeah, that was really bad.
Whatever.
I didn't expect him to jump.
It was
Ted is being way more negative tonight. You been drinking?
No.
We'll start.
That was a hesitation.
That'll fix it. No, right.
I need to go get some, but no, it's just stupid writing. I can usually suspend my belief enough, but it's gotten beyond belief, and I just don't care anymore.
I think we're all there.
It's just so stupid, and there's just no way. We're half the season in, and there's no point.
Yeah. It's just weird that the episodes are still good, kind of. I mean, I hear you, but it's like fast food, right? Yeah. It's like a burger from McDonald's. Like, yeah, it's hitting the spot. Okay, let's move on.
Oh man, it's just horrible. Anyway, that's me. I just can't do it. I haven't watched any Bad Batch since the Wookiee Jedi, so I may watch them all now that it's about to end.
I dipped out season 1, episode 2.
Yeah, they've done some good storytelling here towards the end, and on Debbie's point, I think we're in for
I want to see that episode closer. Nick said was good. If Nick said it was good,
a good close.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna check it out on Debbie's word actually because she was singing his praises since I think a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
But I just got to get around to it.
I think it was.
12 or 13.
12 or 13. I think it's 12.
12.
I think so.
All right.
All right, Ted.
It's amazing.
Thanks for being here. Good to see you. All
Thank
right.
you. It's very soothing.
Caleb, very refreshing. Caleb, you're up, buddy. What's going on, brother?
Okay. Not much. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't talked to you in
12 hours.
Oh,
24
yeah.
hours,
yeah, a lot of the stuff that I kind of said in some other chats have, been said a lot tonight. Someone said the other night that it was a nitpick, but my very big thing is that you've got the Mandalorians here who are supposed to be these great fighters who don't set up a guard duty outside their cave where they keep getting eaten. Especially because I think wasn't it Paz that said this happens quite a bit. We get them back every now and then. Like it's just kind of like what?
Yeah, right.
Like what?
There goes another kid.
If you're not gonna set up a guard duty, don't put in the line. This happens a lot. Like pick one of them.
This happens all the time. No,
yeah.
They even had guard duty when they were at their campfire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Such a good point.
And I haven't watched a lot tonight. I've been watching a lot of baseball, so I've been kind of busy. But I'm really excited for. I can't believe I said that. I'm really excited for the Bad Batch this week. I really think if they nail this, I think we'd be really excited. I don't think we're a lot of stuff's going to have to happen to get us back into where we were just after Force Awakens, or even just after Chapter 16. But I think a good ending to this will go a long way to just kind of holding us over, I would almost say. And then if Ahsoka can do a good job, I've said for a long time, it's all going to lie on Ahsoka. Ahsoka has to be good.
Oh, I hope so.
And if it's not, I think it's just sell it. Just get rid of it. Don't even make anything else.
I'm not even optimistic anymore. I was hyped to cautiously optimistic to you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it's just kind of crazy that, at least for me, I think for a lot of people, it all is going to fall on Ahsoka's shoulders. And I would expect that to be a good place, seeing as how this is Dave's baby. Dave seems to have done a pretty good job with dealing with Ahsoka ever since the really bad time that, the first time we saw her. But with the stuff going on and all the stuff we keep hearing from behind the scenes, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Bad writing again. I don't know.
It is not quite refreshing.
Coach.
That's right, son.
I knew the sun was coming. All right, Caleb, great to have you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, Valiant's up. What's up, Valiant?
What am I doing?
Well, you popped in. You tell us. What's on your mind?
I just got home. I was like, oh, these guys are going. I'll come by, say hi.
Okay.
So,
Hi.
Hi.
Is
What's
Coach
up?
just DOA or what's going on? Oh, there he is. I just want to make sure you're still there. Like, get on camera, dude. I'm like,
I'm here, son. I'm here. Oh, I'm
Where's
here,
your
son.
hat?
Are you going to be able to be around tomorrow for my show?
Hey, Rachel.
Bring me some pizza rolls.
I don't know. If I don't have church small group from 5 to 7, yes. Hang on.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Well, this will work out great. If you can come in, even if you can come in at 7 for the final hour, that'd be perfect.
At the
You got
latest,
some
I could be there
goodies?
at 7:15.
All right.
At the latest.
Put it on your calendar tomorrow because we got some Star Wars stuff to talk about.
All right.
Ooh, good.
Well, last time I came on, y'all had already done the Star Wars. You sure?
Yes, because I've got Marvel Victoria Alonso stuff to discuss in the first hour. Script Doctor's coming in for that. We're going to cover the realism there. We've got some other stuff to talk about. We're going to hit the Star Wars stuff later in the show.
I don't have groups, so I could be there whatever time you want.
Be there. Okay, we'd love to have you. Been dying to have you, Coach. So
Or
look,
be
here's the deal.
square.
I am, man, I was really excited for Mando season 3. I'm like you guys. I am so thrilled, and I'll say this as a shameless plug. The best $5 I spend every month is for Echo Base Patreon. So because I would far rather give Coach and that other dude. I'd far rather give Coach.
Boom, canceled.
He's not here, so piss on him. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna get an angry text in a few minutes. But no, I'd far rather give you guys, all seriousness, the $5 a month and give it to Disney Plus because I look, if I had to sit there and watch this new season alone, I probably wouldn't be real happy. Watching you guys watch it makes it fun for me. It is
We have fun too.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like I'm enjoying this. So I'm so glad I have that Patreon subscription to Echo Base Network. Everybody go check out Echo Base Network on Patreon. You can Google Echo Base Network Patreon. It'll take you right to the page. The $5 a month is totally worth it. If you don't want to like spend the money to get Disney Plus, I don't blame you. Go sub to Echo Base and you can get everything right there. As soon as it comes out, they live stream. And by the way, Coach, as a Catholic, let me give you one of these because I don't know how y'all do this, at 2 a.m. Every week or whatever.
Well,
Central
so we're
Standard
doing it
Time,
at 4:30. We're doing it at 4:30. I'm not getting up at 2, so I just set my alarm clock. I get up an hour and a half before work, before I usually get up. So I go to bed a little bit earlier the night before. I get up at 4:30, and I usually have to call Nick about 5 times. And he finally answers.
That sounds about right.
And he's like, he goes, dude. And I'm like, let's go. Got to record in 15 minutes. I'm making coffee. And he's like, all right. So, and that's it.
I am looking forward to Star Wars Celebration this year. I don't know why. Thank you, Aurora. God bless you. Take care. Appreciate that. Live show tomorrow. Coach just said he's coming by. So if he doesn't, I have to do a road trip to North Alabama to go beat his ass. So anyway, no, I'm looking forward to Star Wars Celebration. There should be a lot of things coming out. Obviously, this week we've had a lot of news / rumor stuff. But there's some things out there that I absolutely put some credence in. I think, look, at Star Wars Celebration, we're going to see some stuff about Ahsoka. We should get some meat and potatoes there. I think we'll see a first early look for sure. I think that'd be stupid if they're not. I think we'll get some clips or something from The Acolyte, like it or not. The show that doesn't exist or whatever.
Hey, let me break in and ask you this about it. What do you think about this rumor that we're about to find out about? I already know what you think without you telling me, but we're about to find out about 3 Star Wars movies.
Yes. And this is why I'm having you on tomorrow. We're going to talk about this. I think that the push for this is real. I'm going to tell you why. I've been consistent since I've been on YouTube now a little over 2 years. And that consistency from the business side of things is that Bob Iger has been pissed off that Lucasfilm has been a disaster from a standpoint of production, right? You can crank out all the Disney Plus stuff you want. Where's the theatrical stuff? They cut out Blood and Bone a year ago. This was a pet project of Kennedy's. Now Kennedy was talking about she wanted to do another Disney Plus series ripped off from Indiana Jones called Ravenwood, about Abner and Marion Ravenwood, and that's been nixed according to the trades this week.
Thank God. Yeah.
So, and that is because, and I totally believe it, that it's like, no. This studio has failed its butt off. We're already dealing with problems at Marvel that is in full business financial collapse at this point. Star Wars has been there now for some time. We've got to have Star Wars projects, theatrical projects, cranked out.
Boom, canceled.
That's it. So this whole thing, like when the Damon Lindelof thing started, immediately I went out there and I was like, that ain't happening. And it didn't. I mean, I didn't have any inside the Beltway information. This was just pure intuition. We've seen what's happened over the years.
So
it's every project.
The movie is still happening according to them. It's just his job as writer. He's gone.
His job as writer, he's gone because he allegedly turned in a script and they didn't like it. And he made a comment about this.
She didn't like it.
Yeah, she didn't. It's very difficult to work with. And now this has been obviously in the works for several weeks, because the minute he came out and said that, within 24 hours, we had the announcement that Stephen Knight from Peaky Blinders, which is one of my absolute most favorite shows of all time, is been brought in to write the script for this. The problem that we've heard is that Kennedy went and hired this chick that did Ms. Marvel on Disney Plus. I don't remember her name. I won't even try to pronounce it because I will offend somebody.
I don't remember her name either.
But Kennedy apparently hired her to come in and direct this movie without first consulting Damon Lindelof, who's writing the screenplay,
It was
which
the
is
Chinoy lady.
Yes, her.
Chinoy.
Like how when I tell folks that Kathleen Kennedy is the biggest screw up in Hollywood, and she should go back to fetching Folgers for Steven Spielberg. This is why.
Please send her there.
This is why she is a train wreck and a half. Okay, so now Stephen Knight is part of this. Now, whether she brought him in or that went above the table, to use a John Wick reference on this weekend, to bring him in, I don't know. But look, I believe all of this is true. They have had, and maybe there's some people out there watching that don't know this, that December, that Christmas 2025 time slot that they reference in this article, that has been slated. Disney booked that theatrical slot like 2 years ago. That's not new. That's been a target for them now for quite a while. So all the stuff, like that was the Rogue One slot. Or not Rogue One, I'm sorry, Rogue Squadron, excuse me.
Oh, Rogue
Squadron. That was that slot, and then they had the Taika Waititi, and then the Kevin Feige thing with Michael Waldron and all that fell through. That slot has been booked. And allegedly, the rumor is that this is do or die. Either this thing happens or they will axe her. Now, I still think that there is some credence to the fact that, look, Indiana Jones 5 is kind of a swan song. That's what she really wanted. The woman is going to be 70 years old this year.
Oh, my God.
Watch it.
I don't know how she...
I knew Debbie.
Debbie, it's not an insult, Debbie.
love you,
It's
Debbie.
no, I'm just saying that's like she's 70 years old this year. If you're working in a job like this and you have been completely unproductive, you've got a movie like Indiana Jones 5, and everybody bear with me on this because this is going to sound bonkers. Hope and pray. Hope and pray. I'm sorry. I can't believe these words are about to come out of my mouth.
I know what you're going to say.
What?
That it fails.
No.
Oh, that
You better hope that Indiana Jones 5 is a big success because that is the highlight that she would want to retire on.
Okay, good. Then I do.
If Indiana Jones collapses, then I think she might try to stick around longer because she's not going to want to go out on that sour note.
Yeah, she can't go out on a loss.
Oh my
God!
Boom, canceled.
You gotta
That's just me personally. That's my feelings reading the tea leaves. And again, I look at just things from the business side. For years, I said, look, I didn't think Kathy would get renewed in 2021 because nothing from the business and financial metrics says that she should. I mean, everything from a rational standpoint said she should go, but she's still there. Mm-hmm. It's obvious that she's got something baked into her contract that lets her hang around for something.
Yeah, a folder of Epstein photos.
Yeah, she's got evidence.
That's what she got.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, look, I want good Star Wars. I really do. I'm desperate for good new Star Wars. I'm with all of y'all. And I mean, I get people on my channel all the time make comments and say stuff like, Valiant, you're black pilling, or Valiant, you're getting so negative. And I'm like, no.
No, you're the harbinger of truth.
That's it. I'm the same guy I've always been. If I see good in something, I'll call it out. If I see bad in something, I'll call it out. Whatever the truth is, that's what I'm going to call out. That's it. That's it for me.
We get the same
things
thing
to get better. Yeah.
Echo Base used to be positive.
You can't fix it if you can't see what's wrong. You know.
You cyberbully.
I'm going to tell people the whole Victoria Alonso thing. It's like, look, she's gone, and that's great. She was a mess for Marvel. But for people to then make the stretch that, Disney is, de-wokeifying or whatever.
Yeah, right.
No.
Dawn of a new day.
No, they're not. They're not. That is not. Don't conflate one thing with another. Right. And I say that not to be like a black pillar. No, I'm in the fight with all the rest of you. I'm in the
Sure.
fight to make Star Wars great again, to make Disney great again, to go back to the, oh, I'm sorry, Coach, did I say a Trump euphemism? I love it.
I like it.
But here's the thing is that this is the bottom line. I want everybody to understand truthfully where we are in the fight. Okay? That's it. We can't win a war against bad pop culture if we don't understand where we are in the battles. If we don't understand where we are in the timeline of where we're fighting. So that's it. Now, I think at this point it seems like they're going to try, and this is why they brought Stephen Knight in so fast. They're going to try to get something together to where they're going to announce something big at Star Wars Celebration. They have to have something at this point. Bob Iger he's got his foot pushing that pedal to the floor. This is the last piece. Even though with everything Marvel's been doing wrong recently, Iger can still look back and say, we bought Marvel and we took it from 2009 to 2019 with Endgame. That was on me. He doesn't have that right now with Star Wars. This is the last nail in the head for him. He's got to get this fixed. So, he's got to get this going.
I have a prediction. It's a big prediction.
It's your show.
I've been right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Silence.
Silence. Users coach is
Tron.
Yeah. So I called it back in 2020, whatever it was.
Yep.
We got 3, if in fact 3 projects, movie, cinema, big screen projects are going to be announced. One of them is going to be Taika Waititi's movie. I would think. The other 2, we don't know.
I don't know if he's still really involved in one, though. It seemed like he's the news in the last couple of weeks. That's been.
Well, here's my main point.
I think they're playing him off stage. Personally,
regardless of what we get, I guess what I'm saying is I don't think we're going to be shocked except for with one of them. And I honestly think we're going to get some Luke Skywalker something.
Oh,
I really do. Bob Iger wants to make money.
Yep.
He knows what Chapter 16 did. It's the peak of Disney Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not cash in on that?
They're talking about non-binary Luke too, right? And all that stuff. Remember that a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
So, bye, Luke. Well, it's going to turn out that they were really actually twins, like they were both female, but Luke identifies as male. We're going to get some real wacky shit, man. Get ready.
I think this push towards this, and let's take it a piece at a time. I think this push towards the December 2025 release, and they still have a decent bit of time here. We're talking almost 3 years away at this point. That's a lot of time to develop a film, get it into principal photography, and then competently put it through post-production and get it ready for that date. That's also plenty of time to build a story that could go to a 2 or 3 movie arc. And that is where, Coach, you and I and Pro had discussed previously, part of this, and I think this is why this is playing in, is this whole idea of they want to get Grogu to the big screen, for sure, and having him and Rey together in a movie. That is still a very strong possibility of where this is going. And again, I remind people, Pro and I would not have heard that rumor that we heard. Sorry, my dogs are barking, literally. We would not have heard about that had it not been pushed up to levels that were beyond the Walt Disney Company. We're talking about partners of the Walt Disney Company, which is where this came back to us. And had that not been an initiative by the Walt Disney Company at the highest levels, and as we disclosed, this was a Bob Iger initiative, Rey and Grogu together on the big screen, it would not have gotten to where it got to that got back to us. It would have been impossible otherwise. That's not to say that it's guaranteed to happen, but that is just to say that based on the trajectory of how that came to us, that it is on the table and it is being seriously looked at. So leave it there.
Well, Coach, we got a couple of super chats to clear, and then I think we're approaching the 3-hour mark. I think we
are.
I think we're going to need to wind this one
let's
down.
clear them.
So
Scott Edwards with a $4.99 super chat. Scott says, "Do you think Hera Syndulla is going to play a big role in the Ahsoka series? Y'all want to know who the secret villain is in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom?" I do think she will play a role, a big role. I don't know. That will be interesting to see. We've already talked about it. Great question, Scott. I do think that Ahsoka is shaping up to be a continuation of Rebels. And they haven't really done anything like that before. So it'll be interesting to watch. As far as the secret villain in Aquaman, sure, let us know. Interesting.
It's going to be Coach as the Mon Calamari.
No, it's not, son.
It is an Aquaman movie. It's possible.
Yeah.
All right.
Quite refreshing.
Olaf Van S with a $2 super chat. Disney told Lucasfilm to solely focus on Star Wars, and that's right.
Yeah, they dropped the hammer on Willow.
Yep, drop the hammer on Willow. Drop the hammer on the Indiana Jones series. They are sticking to Star Wars, and honestly, it's wise.
Yep.
Fix it.
Yep.
Fix it.
Like, do you think any of the higher ups, Iger, anybody, like, do you think any of them are like have some sort of thought in their head that's like, we need to de-wokeify this garbage? Like the message has not gotten to them at all? Or are they like, nah, they don't know what they're talking about? I mean, what do you guys think?
They don't know that yet. They don't understand that yet.
That's crazy.
Disney is still very steeped in the ideology. I mean, I even covered in a video that I did day before yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at their annual stockholder meeting preamble that they've released ahead of what they're doing next week or the week after, there's the first several pages they talk about all the DEI of the board, the DEI initiatives, and all this. That's a big thing for them still. We're still a ways out, and again, I'm not trying to be discouraging out there to people, but I want people to understand this is where we are in the fight.
Yeah.
People have to realize this is where Disney still is. They're still very steeped in that ideology. That's not changing tomorrow. It's not changing right now. Yes, there's going to be people that are DEI related that get canned, like HR folks or Victoria Alonso and all this kind of stuff, but that doesn't mean that the ideology is changing right now. We're still a few years away from that happening, but we all have to stay vigilant. We all have to, continue to be, hey, we don't like this. We have to vote with our wallets. We have to keep voting with our wallets if we want to actually see eventual change.
Well, it kind of felt like Mando season 1 and season 2 was that change. Like they were starting to get the message. We got like the strong male hero, you know what I mean? And then we even got the cutesy Yoda, baby Yoda that we all, loved or whatnot. But it kind of looked like they were getting that message. Am I right? Or what do you guys think?
I thought they were starting to get it. I don't think they've had time to completely change what they've already done in that type of frame of mind, because I've seen it at the movie theater, and we're not getting quite as many of those frame of mind movies as we were. And it sure showed at the movie theaters that those movies dropped off.
Yeah,
to me, I kind of saw it as not like going past center, but just trying to pull the pendulum back a little bit. Like they realized that it had gone too far one direction. Let's bring it back a bit. But I do have a question, and I'd love if Valiant might be able to answer it. So Disney is supposed to be working on a Aragon TV show, and Bert Sulky, the lovely husband of Jennifer Sulky, who just gave us the Rings of Power, is the executive producer for it.
Yes.
And I am trying to I'm wondering any thoughts on that.
how would Disney? I don't understand. How would Disney be working on that show? They have no rights to any of that.
No, Aragon, not Aragorn. Aragon. The
the
Dragon
Dragons.
cycle. Yeah,
Dragon.
The Fox
came out in
had
like
the movie
08.
in like 04, and they sold. Disney now owns the rights, so Bert is working on that as well as Percy Jackson show, and I'm wondering, should I be very angry, very scared, cautiously optimistic?
I'd say with anything at this point, cautiously optimistic. I mean, the reality is that Disney is looking to power back, excluding operational expenses. I mean, they're looking to power back about $3.5 billion in content expenditure. Disney Plus, theatrical production, everything over the next 12 to 18 fiscal months. So, I mean, that's why things like Willow season 2 got canceled.
Thank God.
There's going to be more and more. Right. You can't make a season 2 of a Disney Plus show that was one of the most expensive to make, that had the lowest audience that was measured on Disney Plus for a show of that scale. I mean, that was an easy one to just cancel. Just gone.
Yeah.
Right? And there's going to be other ones out there. The thing is that you're going to see shows and you're going to scratch your head and say, how are they making a season 2 of this? Well, they probably feel like they got enough of an audience in season 1 to where they can make a season 2 while at the same time retracting the budget for what they spend on it.
Okay.
So there's kind of a happy middle ground. You cannot replace the box office. You can't replace the theatrical windows, right? And that's what they're figuring. That's why Disney Plus is $12 billion in the hole. $12 billion in losses since Disney Plus launched.
Good for them.
Sounds like a government.
That right there is what has concealed the abject failures of Marvel Studios. The $12 billion loss on Disney Plus is what has concealed the abject failures of Lucasfilm. Okay, and Pixar. Throw them in there too, because they're a Tijuana donkey show at this point.
Oof. Yeah, and now Marvel.
Right, that's what Marvel's in there too.
Yeah, totally.
That's part of that's the big reason why Victoria Alonso got fired. They're using this excuse that she breached her contract by doing a gig for Amazon. I absolutely believe her and her attorney that Disney probably gave her tacit permission to go do it. But they're not going to find it anywhere in writing.
Absolutely
They basically buried her in that excuse because the last thing the Walt Disney Company wants to do, I did a video today on this, the last thing the Walt Disney Company wants to do is have to go to court and defend itself and Marvel Studios from a position of weakness and say, well, look at how bad Marvel is right now. It's a financial fiasco, and it's all because of Alonso's fault. They don't want to go to court and do that. It goes out in the public. And then they have to say, well, Kevin Feige was like asleep at the wheel or something. No, they're going with this issue that she violated her contract working with Amazon. This is all Fugazi. She did it, but Disney really didn't care. This is just what they're using as an excuse to get rid of her with an ironclad legal argument they don't have to fight.
That's a great one.
Yeah. If she would have dealt out bangers, she wouldn't have been getting fired. It wouldn't have been brought up. We'd be talking about how great the season of Mando is and how great the effects are.
Was she in charge of Lucasfilm?
Oh no, yeah, no. Why am I saying that? Yeah, no, not at all. I'm pretty sure she's just Marvel. This is me just switching shit up like an idiot.
Two more super chats, Coach, and then it's bedtime.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Scott Edwards, $4.99 is the king of Necros. His spirit will possess Black Manta.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't know anything about any of that.
Black Manta was awesome in the first movie. I wish we had more of him.
Yeah,
he was really good.
Don't even remember. Honestly.
Thanks for the scoop, Scott Edwards. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott. You are the man. Chris Fanstrom, $2. I want the return of the Legend storyline. Yeah. Yep.
Just as long as it's not Disney.
I hate to say it, man, but it's like that's like people saying they want the retcon. I mean,
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
it ain't.
Silence. Users Tron is trying to speak.
Excuse me. Thought it was my show.
I'm here because y'all want my cheerful face. I got my new graphics card today and trust me, this thing I've created is a beast at video games. Anyway, I have been doing music visualization streams during the day, so feel free to come by.
Nice.
Let's go.
Awesome.
So, Tron, let me ask you a
Check it out.
question. Can I download one of your streams and extract the music and it be copyright free for me? Will that work? Because I am having a heck of a time with our pre-show here on the channel. We keep getting copyrighted because I can't find good music. I finally find something that's copyright free and everybody complains. They're like, did Coach's daughter pick this music? You know,
my mother loves that music, Coach. She loves that. Bring that music back. She said, bring it back.
Let Paul make your music.
Why don't you just use a lo-fi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or shitty flute. Shit. I'll take that.
Lo-fi or shitty flute.
Yeah, one or the other.
They're great options.
We need Ted on a kazoo.
Oh no.
Yes. Yeah. Now we're talking.
And Coach, we have one more super chat, so unfortunately I have to show it. From Valiant.
Renegade! So true. So true. Resolute Rebellion, I like your idea. The Auburn fight song, that'd be great.
Oh,
All right,
gross.
nice. I was trying to be nice. X-Wing's trying to get me into a fight in the chat. So
As usual. As usual.
All right, well, let's go around the horn and everybody give your parting shots. You know, promote your channel, what you got going on, what you want everybody to know. Let's do that.
Not really, because my streams has TTS, so I can speak.
Gotcha.
Nice.
No worries. All right. Graber?
Oh gosh.
You've been quiet for a while. Friday Nights with Graber is quite the adventure.
I can't.
I'm gonna have to get over there on a Friday night.
Seriously.
Oh, I don't know.
You'll never be the same, Debbie.
I don't
You
know.
will never be the same.
Look, he was riding around in a truck last night on a live stream.
Oh my god.
Oh.
My daughter, my granddaughter drove the truck yesterday on stream.
Yep.
That was pleasant.
Yeah, I gotta get you that video later.
Yep. She's 11, but you know she drove it by herself. She did good. It came back in one piece. She's fine. But yeah, Friday nights. I do have to clean my Star Wars room up, but I got all kinds of stuff, so I might stream probably Monday of opening stuff up if anybody's interested. Otherwise, Friday night turned out to be our thing now. Me and my daughter Megan, and it's something. I'll give you that.
It is.
Oh yeah.
That's all I got.
All right.
Nice.
That's good. Sith Lord Felix?
All right. Well, yeah, I'm come check out channel Starface. Although I really don't have too much Star Wars stuff going on. Actually, it's clips of me playing pool pretty poorly. So you know, but it's me more like tracking my progress. I've only been playing for like a year and change, but I'm actually thinking of maybe developing something, some sort of podcast, because God knows we need another one. But other than that, I definitely got to give a shout out again to X-Wing's channel and Valiant Renegade. I actually started following him about a couple weeks ago, a month ago or something like that. I just saw his channel starting to come up. So, you know, follow them instead.
That's one thing here, man, that I feel like I am so proud to have a large group of YouTube friends that are such good content creators too. And all of our people, like I can go over to Valiant Show and I see so many people I know. They don't even know I'm there watching. And I see so many people. I go over to Midnight's Edge. I see so many people, which, you know, Midnight's Edge didn't come from us. I'm just saying, you know, I go over to, you know, so many people's streams and like X-Wing, and, you know, I feel like I'm at home when I go those places. It's just we got a great thing. So
yes,
shout out to all those folks.
And
All right.
speaking of this topic, X-Wing wants to know what we're all doing on John Graber's stream right now.
He also said the last time he went on there, his credit score dropped 150 points.
I believe that.
That's funny.
That's great.
Oh wow! All right, Rogue Sarge, who just started his channel a few months ago.
Yeah, I filmed some new footage today at the range. So I'm going to put up some range footage tomorrow.
I saw you posting pictures of
And-
some of your guns today.
Oh yeah. It was a good session today, and I'll also be posting some more videos on some old collectibles I dug out. I found all my original Star Wars Topps cards from back in the day.
Oh, wow,
Nice.
Yeah. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Very
and
awesome.
Again, yeah. Thanks for everybody. I just got 2 new subs tonight. So
awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, and
thanks
by
again,
the way,
folks.
thank you, Channel Starface, Sith Lord Felix, for joining our Patreon.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Valiant gave a good case there.
Well, look, once you go on there, give everybody else some feedback, because I would venture to say there's very few people that do as much on Patreon right now as what we're given. Like we are getting it done on Patreon, so it's a lot. Debbie, Mama
Me?
Bear.
Okay. Well, I would like to send some posters. I've got a lot of posters that I signed up for that some in the group might want. Send the pictures to you. Coach, you could maybe put them on the site or something. I don't know if you could or not put them up there. They're old, they're old ones they're given away because the movies were done.
Sure.
And then we could give a couple of them away every week, and then I can just mail them out to the people if you want to do
Awesome.
that.
Sure.
So I'll put a couple of pictures up, and then whatever you want to put them up as a giveaway, I'll start giving
So
away.
for those of you who don't know, most of you do, Debbie's a retired RN, but she works part-time at a local movie theater in Cincinnati. And so she gets posters, and she sent me several, and I love them. And it's good. So we'll have giveaways here, and
They all hung in the theater.
Yep.
So they've all been there. So they've all hung up in the theater. And a lot of people like that. So I'd be happy to do it. And then Valiant, I definitely will root for Indiana Jones to be good, but not for Harrison Ford, because he deserves it.
That's where I'm at. I love that. That's a great attitude. I want it to be good for Ford. He deserves a good outro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's understandable that a lot of people don't have any faith that he will at this point, considering, but God, I hope he does. I really hope he does.
And I have to say, on the Harrison Ford front, if you have access to Apple TV Plus or any other means to watch it, watch the show. It's a comedy called Shrinking, and where Harrison Ford plays a psychiatrist who runs a small practice, and what happens to him and the people there. He is absolutely hilarious.
Speaking of shrinking, nobody occupies the lower third of a camera frame like Darth Simpus.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that so much.
And I'm done.
Well, I don't know. Because this guy.
Oh yeah.
There.
That's the left third. I was talking about the lower third.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. Graver is. Love you, John. All right.
I can only take up a third. That's if I zoom in.
Sorry. All right. Ted, what is going on with you and your channel? And
Hey.
Tell everybody what's up.
Just probably keep doing the stupid joke shorts, watching comics, fan videos, things like that. Star Wars news, retro gaming. I do a lot of retro gaming every now and then. I say a lot, but yeah, not too much. But I want to do more of that. I don't know. I've been watching Tron a lot. Tron does a lot of good gaming. Got to speak for him. He does a lot of good gaming. We need to get him monetized. We got to get his watch time up. He's almost monetized with his watch time. He keeps that music going during the day. So if you get a chance, leave a tab going for Tron.
Yeah.
So
I'll
head out with that. So thanks.
All right.
Sweet.
Very good.
Yep.
All right. Caleb, King's Advisors.
Yes. So we've got one, maybe 2 videos hopefully come out tomorrow. I still have to record them. So hopefully they come out tomorrow. And then Dan and I are hopefully going to be starting a weekly live show in the near future. And if anyone's a racing fan, the great John Graber and I host a F1 show every let's say 5 o'clock after the race on whichever Sunday it happens. So the next one will be April 2nd, which is my birthday. So it'll also be a birthday stream as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right,
But beyond that, I think that's just about it.
All right. Well, we got Legendary Tron's going to tell us something in just a second. So and let me say this for the Legendary Tron. So he's a gamer, just got a brand new system that he's put together. He's going to be doing some serious gaming now. It's going to be really good. And if you'd like to support him, he just started his OnlyFans page. You can catch him behind the scenes with Ashley Eckstein. They're calling it Spy Cam or something.
Okay, this just got really weird.
What? What the heck is my head doing on
I know, I was strange. I'm like, what happened?
What? Do that again, Ted. Do that again. I am one ugly man. My gosh.
Alvin. I mean, sorry.
Far be it to me to argue with my host, but okay.
Hey, so Valiant, you got a show tomorrow night. Tell everybody what's going on.
I'm Valiant Renegade, and I do stuff on YouTube.
All right, here, fine. I'll do it for you.
And
no, I got it.
X-Wing is a dick.
All right, so I'm Valiant Renegade, and I've got over 20 years experience in this business. We are analyzing the financials. If you really want to know what's going on in Hollywood, come join us at Renegade Online.
He is so drunk.
You can see people like Coach, WDW Pro.
His eyes.
Don't shit the chair. And he's gone. I got him.
Boom, cancel.
No! Not on my own show.
Oh God, that was perfect. That was perfect. No, that was great. All right, come on by tomorrow. Renegade Online at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Tries to speak.
Hey fam, recently I have been doing my Chillcast stream, moved to Wednesday nights around 6 p.m. Central Time. I need people to get on with me, so let me know. I'm halfway in my watch hours. Much love all.
Awesome. Risman, you want to close us out? Guys, thank y'all for being here. We love pop-ins. We love you guys. Thank you for your support of the channel. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
God bless you guys.
Thank you so much.
So we're closing with the weakest link.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
we
Let's
are.
save the
We are
worst for
closing.
last, right, Valiant? No. Another great
We are
stream,
closing
Coach.
with the weakest link. We're going to pop you guys out. We love you guys. See y'all
Always
later.
be with you.
All right, take care,
All
man.
right. See you guys.
See you.
Peace.
Valiant, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Poor Richmond, he's trying to check out like a half hour ago.
Great to have everyone here. Another wonderfully attended stream. We love doing this for y'all. So glad we could still make this happen today. So hope you all enjoyed it. Remember, you are Echo Base Network, and we will see you next week. Everyone take care. See ya.
Boom, canceled.
Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network, thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. As for being here, it was a lot of fun. Even when they made fun of me at the end. John Graber is a very short human. Just want to say that. I don't mean to be mean. I'm just a habitual truth teller. Matt Rispman has no hair. None. He is one shiny bald man. I have an extremely large forehead. I do. When I take pictures with my wife, I have to stand in the background, like 3 steps behind her, for the scaling. I'll give you a second to think about that one. It's to make our heads proportional. Soothing. It's very soothing, son. We love Echo Base Network. So soothing. We'll see you Saturday on the next soothing stream. Oh yeah.
Mediator has decided 1 point Valiant Renegade. That is a very, very valid argument. Okay.
What you're really saying, Valiant, though,
May the force be with you. For me, to Papa.
Who misses Nick anyways? I didn't.